Hello and welcome in for everybody tuning in at home on YouTube. It's good to have you here with us today. We're going to go ahead and hop straight into the debates with the Trump supporters for the afternoon. In fact, we already have our first Trump supporter of the day, Mr. John Mike, up on the live. John, you told us you voted for Trump. Take it away and tell us why.
All right, so I voted for Trump because while he was the president, we didn't have so many immigrants getting into America. Plus, all the tax rate was lower. We weren't having as many wars. Our country was protected, and we weren't having any problems with any other countries.
Okay, phenomenal. So we're going to go ahead and refute those one by one. So first, you think that immigration's a bad thing. The second, you think that his taxes were lower than Biden and Harris's. And third, you think that there's less global conflict. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the second point. So you're not a fan of the tax policy that the Biden-Harris administration passed at all, correct?
Correct.
Right, and you never vote for that again?
No.
No. Under any circumstances?
I've always voted for Trump.
So you'd never vote for Biden and Harris's tax policy again under any circumstances?
No.
Even if it was not Biden and Harris's tax policy, but it was Trump's?
Oh.
Oh, because the tax policy that we've had in America under the Biden-Harris administration belonged to Trump, passed in the 2017 tax reform bill by the name of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. So go ahead and do your thing, do your mental gymnastics, and somehow convince me and everybody else watching that when you told us that you would never vote for the tax policy under the Biden-Harris administration again under any circumstances, that it somehow doesn't contradict you continuing to support Trump.
No, I'm cooked. I have no idea.
Well, okay. And then somebody in the background says that Kamala Harris was in an N-word. I think that grants a lot of credence to the theory that one of the reasons that Kamala Harris lost in the election was because she's black. It was because she's a woman. Because we'll have people like that come up, and they'll just straight up say that, oh, they didn't like the Biden-Harris administration's tax policy. I informed them that they didn't pass any tax policy. They were on Donald Trump's tax reform bill from 2017. And then their response is, well, I don't have one, but Kamala Harris is a hard R. That is unironically how that conversation went. And that's MAGA for you folks. What's going on? Did you vote for Trump?
Hey, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's have a conversation. But before we do, I got to thank Ava for the $20 donation over on YouTube. Super Chat says, I broke up with my boyfriend. Give me good advice. Don't go back and don't follow any bad habits because you're sad. Really good advice right there, Ava. But thank you so much for the $20 donation. And take it away, Mr. Crypto Shark Boris. Why'd you vote for Trump?
Because I like that he's not as in support of trans people.
Oh, wait, real quick. First of all, we cannot talk about T issues on the live. TikTok will ban you and me for it, but real quick, what time is it?
It's, give me a second. Wait.
Yeah, he's Googling an American time zone, so we're going to move on to the next guest. We got Dan JC loading up into that box. If you're one of the 5.6 thousand people watching over on TikTok, make sure that you're double tapping away on that phone screen and sharing out this live with a handful of friends. We're just looking for some debates with some Trump supporters. What's going on, Dan? Did you do it? Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
You did. How old are you?
I'm 22. Millers, UK, up the boys.
Okay, I don't know what he said. What the fuck was that like some like British shit? Can somebody like translate that for me? Can somebody translate that for me, you guys? Can I have like a translator for me? What's up, Michael? Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
You did. Why?
Solely based on the fact that if it ever came down to the world leaders having to have a golf match, I think Donald Trump would pull through for America, just like he's doing right now.
Okay, so if Kamala Harris was better at golf than Donald Trump, would you have voted for Kamala Harris?
Yeah, but she's not.
Okay, you're trolling. Get off my live.
You got what?
So I don't think that one's performance on the green should determine if they'd be a good or bad president.
Why not?
Why not? Because what does one's performance on the green have to do with their ability to manage domestic policy relating to economy, housing, social services,
if it ever came down to it where the world leaders have to have a golf match, who would you want golfing? Kamala or Trump? If you don't say Trump,
Trump, sure.
There we go.
Sure. If it came down to a point where all the world leaders We're doing
I
a golf
beat you,
match.
Dean. I beat you.
I'd want Trump golfing compared to Kamala Harris. But we don't live in a fictional version of reality where one's ability to golf determines if they'd be a good or bad president. What a terrible troll. What a terrible troll.
I don't mean to be terrible. It's just you asked me why I voted Trump.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gave you-
What's your average? What's your average driving range, bud? How far are you driving?
300
300. You're joking.
yards.
You're joking.
I'm not.
Get the fuck out of here, Michael.
I'm not joking. Look,
Get out of here. We're gonna go to move on to the next guest, bro. A bunch of trolls today, man. We're gonna go out and move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute, you guys. Yo, Haley, thank you for the 14 Canadian dollars over on Super Chat on YouTube. Thank you for the love, Haley. Everyone show some love to Haley. And yo, Carmen! Carmen with a C, by the way, with a $50 Super Chat on YouTube. Everybody, show some love to Carmen down below in that chat. Carmen says, keep it up, Dean. You're amazing. You educate people and are trying to change the world one mag at a time. Tim Waltz for president, as with you as vice. Trolls are strong today. Patience with us is a virtue you definitely have. Hey, well, Carmen, I do appreciate you for the love. You're always tuning in, and we really appreciate you here. Everybody, please show some love to Carmen in that chat. They're always tuning in to that YouTube stream, and they're very appreciated. What is going on, Draven? Did you do it? Did you vote for Trump?
Hello, Dean. Yes, I did.
You did. Why?
Well, because I like him.
You like him? Why's that?
Cause I don't know. I just really like him. I like his policies.
So, you like his policies? What's your favorite Donald Trump policy?
Yeah, probably the immigration one.
Immigration one? Okay, what's your favorite Donald Trump immigration policy?
Well, they just said truck PFP. I don't even have that truck no more. They're freaking haters in your chat, man.
Okay, stop talking about your profile picture and tell us what your favorite Donald Trump immigration policy is.
The one I don't even know. I just like how he's getting rid of more of them. You know?
Getting rid of more immigrants? Why is that a good thing?
Oh well, because like cheap labor is like slavery, and that's not okay.
Okay. Well. First of all, I agree that individuals should be paid a fair wage, and that would
Yeah.
obviously mean that you disagree with the Trump administration for not supporting the federal minimum wage, right?
Well,
Because it's cheap labor, and if that's like slavery, this means that the Donald Trump administration supports
Well, no,
slavery in
there's-
accordance with your view.
no. Well, I believe that each state should allow to have their own minimum wage because each state is gonna have their own, pay. Like California is gonna be more expensive to live in than, like, for say Oklahoma.
But obviously, you think that there should be some type of like federal minimum to ensure that individuals are not engaging in cheap labor because you literally think that's like slavery.
I don't.
And if you think that it
believe
should be
in
at the
a-
state level, you're essentially saying under your own view that you think slavery should be up to the state, since you think cheap labor should be up to the state, and you
That
think
is
that
totally-
cheap labor is slavery.
There's a difference between cheap labor and a minimum wage. I'm saying that federally there should not be an enforced. What should I say? Federally there should not be an enforced minimum wage, but I believe, like, through the states they should have a minimum wage. I'm not saying slavery.
You're the one that equivocated between cheap labor and slavery. Here's my question.
No.
Wait.
what
Do you
I'm
think that
saying-
having a minimum wage, which is below a threshold of being fair, would lead to cheap labor?
Say that one more time. Sorry, I was reading the chat.
Yeah. Do you think having a minimum wage that is too low leads to cheap labor?
I mean, it definitely could.
It definitely does. Okay, those are the
Yeah,
facts.
yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just saying,
So, and
like,
if you think that cheap labor is slavery, then you think that having a minimum wage that's too low can lead to slavery, right?
well, I'm just saying, like, in California, the minimum
No.
wage is
Just follow me here.
$15 over there.
Follow me here. You just agreed that a minimum wage that's too low leads to cheap labor, and you think that cheap labor is slavery. So you think that having a minimum wage that's too low is slavery, right?
Well,
Leads to
I'm
slavery.
saying, like, immigrants, they are undocumented, so they can get away with getting paid less than minimum wage.
We could talk about that next after you just agree to this.
I'm just-
You said that cheap labor is slavery, right?
Not always. Not if we were talking about minimum wage, but if we're getting into, I'm talking about, like, how they pay undocumented immigrants.
Wait, so
They pay them a lot
why?
less.
So wait, why is cheap labor only slavery for undocumented migrants and not natural-born U.S. citizens?
Because there is what is it called? A minimum wage set in place for it.
Oh, so if there's a minimum wage set, then it's not cheap labor?
That's not what I said at all.
Okay, but there is a minimum
Insane.
wage for undocumented workers. In fact, they have the same legal protections as natural-born U.S. citizens do in the labor force.
Yeah, but then, they can just be like, hey, you're not going to take this, then I'm going to tell ICE on you, and there they go.
So
They
you're
go by
so you're saying that undocumented migrants get paid lower wages on average compared to U.S. citizens. However, they don't get paid below minimum wage, and that is true. And the reason they get paid lower wages on average is because of the fact that they don't have a documented residency or citizenship, meaning they have less bargaining power compared to natural-born U.S. citizens. The way to resolve that would be to offer all undocumented migrants in America a pathway to residency and citizenship, or in other words, mass amnesty.
There is a pathway, but they don't want to take it always.
Why?
Because most of them have felonies against them.
That's not true. Undocumented migrants are 2 times less likely than natural-born U.S. citizens to
You
commit
don't know
violent
that.
crimes, when individuals with prior offenses are incredibly more likely to be a reoccurring criminal. Not to mention that the only person with a felony behind him that you support is the president.
Well, yeah, I guess so too. I do support him. So I do support a... Oh, yeah, I do support a felon. You got that right. I'm not saying he's like a... Well, he's not a bad felon. He's kind of like the good felon.
So Donald Trump was also held civilly liable for grape. Is grape bad?
Grape?
Yeah.
Grape? I just ate grape, so can I be held liable for it?
Okay, you're trolling. We're going to move on to the next guest. If you're in that queue, make sure that you voted for Trump. We're just looking for some Trump supporters to debate today. I'm like pretty fucking sure that we've just been getting trolled since we went live. We've been getting trolled since the moment we went live. Everybody, every single soul that has joined this live since I started the stream has just been trolling. Yo, what's up, Tristan? You vote for Trump?
I did, but I just have a quick question for you.
Wait, you did or you did not?
I did.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Yeah, what year are you born in?
2006.
What month?
May 9th.
May 9th. So you turned 18 May 9th of last year?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, let's have a debate, but you also said that you have a question, so take it away.
Yeah, no, I didn't really join to debate. I'm just curious
Oh.
really quick. If
I gotta
you,
kick you. I got to
yeah.
kick you because I'm here to debate.
okay, well, can I just ask you a quick question? Like, I'm
No.
not trying to troll you or anything.
No, because we're looking for debates. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just do go ahead and give us a minute, everyone. Do be patient while we get that next guest loaded up into the stream, guys. And if you're one of the 6.3 thousand people watching over on TikTok, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. I likely would have let him ask a question if we had debates already today, but like unfortunately it is the case that we have not. Everyone, do just go ahead and give us a minute. Yo, Q, I sent you a request to join the live, Q. Wait, apparently the live disconnected? Sorry, you guys. The live disconnected. It's back now. I don't know why the live disconnected. That was weird. We're good now. That was like seriously an issue on my end. It said that the live disconnected and now it's back. I think it's because I minimized like the TikTok studio on my computer. I don't know, but we're good now. We're good now. What's up, Egrams? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 19, November 28th, 2005.
Okay. You're 19?
Yeah.
If you're born in 2005, you would be turning 20 this year. So that's
No, I wouldn't. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you're correct. I thought you were about to say.
Wait,
that I
well,
wasn't.
how come you don't know you're turning 20 this year? sir?
No, I do. I just thought you were gonna say no. I thought you were gonna be like, you're not. And I was gonna be like, what?
Okay. All right. Why'd you vote for Trump?
He's a pretty good guy. I like his policies.
Oh, he's a pretty good guy. What's one good thing about him?
He's good at golf.
Yeah, guys, we've just been getting trolled all day. Hey, I have a question. Why do you use like most likely you're a younger white guy. You probably do actually support Trump. Why do you just not actually want to engage in a good faith discussion with him? Is it because you know that I'm more intelligent than you are?
No, I actually have a question though. You're saying he's liable for great.
Like, dude, I don't even know what's going on. Like seriously, I don't even know what's going on. Like seriously, the Trump supporters will only come up here and troll, come up here and slur, come up here and do anything but debate me. Seriously, they're spineless. They're spineless because then they'll know what they all know at this point that I'll win. You know, these conversations that I have with Trump supporters have gotten so much exposure. Rather it's through Jubilee, rather it's through the fucking Nell Steiny podcast, rather it's through the daily live streams or the clips of these daily live streams that get spread on TikTok and get 500,000 likes, or the YouTube videos, okay? And these conversations have got so much exposure, And like millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of Trump supporters across our country have like seen me absolutely dunking on the people that agree with him. So now they're scared to come up here and debate me. And that's why, we'll spend 30 minutes looking for a conversation with Trump supporter and just being unable to find one. What's up, Rec? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
26.
All right, phenomenal. Before we do hop into our debate, I do have to thank a couple individuals for their donations.
go ahead.
Wendy, thank you for the $50 over on Super Chat. Everybody, 500W Wendy's down below. 500W Wendy's down below. That is so much money, Wendy. Thank you so much for the love. I want to see so many W Wendy's down below, literally right now. And then also Kristen with the $50 donation over on Super Chat as well. Kristen says, love you, buddy. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, Kristen. It's so good to have you in here with me today. And holy shit, $50 is so much money. Everybody show so much love to Wendy and Christine down below in that chat right now. You guys are so incredibly kind. I do not deserve that. Thank you guys so much. But Rex, I'm going to go and pass the mic over to you. Tell us why you voted for Trump.
All right, perfect. So I voted for Trump just because of an ideology narrative more than a policy. So I think it's more of like a karma that happened to the left for why we are where we are now and why we ended up more far right than we ever have been. But I think it's a shift that needed to
Bivog,
happen.
thank you so much for the galaxy. Sure. So, like, what ideologies, what beliefs of yours led you to voting for Trump over Kamala Harris?
Well, the first one, whenever you were debating the other clowns who don't really give you a real reason, or whenever they didn't want to submit, but I feel like what you were doing was emotional manipulation in terms of the slave wages, right? I mean, that is what you're doing. I mean, it's cringe that you do it because you're like, oh, well, $7.25 is slavery, but I mean, how many jobs do you know that genuinely pay $7.25? And each state varies because you had to have a minimum wage in general, right?
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and reiterate the argument that guest gave me, and I'm going to go ahead and lead you to the conclusion that it granted. I'd also like to, I mean, I'm guessing you could hear me on the phone now. This is just going through my second account. I don't know why there's lag. We're just going to let the lag kind of run its course. I mean, there's lag. We're just going to let the lag kind of run its course. Oh, I think I'm good now. I think I'm good now. I think we're good now. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you're good, boss.
Okay, guys. So today, immediately.
All right, go ahead.
Today,
What were you saying? Can you repeat?
Today, immediately after my stream, I'm gonna go to Best Buy. I'm gonna get a new CPU and I'm gonna get new RAM. Okay, you guys. Like, my computer is just absolutely shitting itself. I need to get a new computer.
Get the 9950.
But anyways, to move back to what you were saying. So I'm going to respond to you, but I first want to
Yes.
recognize that this is an absolute pivot because I asked you what beliefs you hold to be the case that led you to vote for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris. But instead, you just want to talk about something I done to another guest to call me an emotional manipulator. So don't interrupt me.
I'm expanding.
So don't interrupt me. So you are absolutely fucking pivoting, and I just think that's kind of really like disingenuous of you, especially because every single guest we've had on the live so far today has done the exact same thing. I've been live for 33 minutes, and I've not had one Trump voter give me one reason he's a better candidate than Kamala Harris. And at this point, it's actually starting to piss me off. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and hold you to it. I'll respond to your claims that I was emotionally manipulating another guest later. I want you to first give us one reason why Donald Trump was a better candidate than Kamala Harris. Got it on mute.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure I was unmuted. Well, I mean, I was just expanding more on the immigration because that's one of the main things that I would have argued you against. But then that's why I said it. Whatever you were saying to him.
Okay,
was
so
emotional.
what made Donald Trump a better presidential candidate in the context of immigration compared to Kamala Harris?
Because we've had several years of Democratic policies, Republican policies of people doing absolutely nothing, and where we end up having government shutdowns between the Senate because they won't pass a bill because they can't decide whether as if they want to send money to Ukraine or not. And I'm not going to lie that yes, during the Trump administration, during I don't know which specific year, but the Democrats did come to the table and decide to give the Republicans a border bill, right? Without the involvement of sending Ukraine aid, right? But I don't think anything would have been done. I felt like Kamala Harris during her campaign kept parroting whatever Donald Trump said, like the no taxes on tips. I don't know why she would do something like that. And there was one other one, which I don't know. I mean, it hasn't even happened. I think it's no income tax, but I don't think she's stupid enough to say something like that.
Okay, so your argument is that nothing would have been done to address issues with immigration under a Kamala Harris presidency. However, something
Yes.
would be done under Donald Trump's.
Yes.
Okay, I think the exact opposite. I think that Kamala Harris was the only individual in the race that had any immigration policy that would have effectively addressed the real issues at the southern border to reduce undocumented migration in the long term. Can I tell you why?
Sure. Go ahead. Expand.
What causes undocumented immigration?
People to enter illegally.
And why do individuals decide to come into America with the use of illegal means compared to legal means?
Multiple reasons. It could be anything. I think a lot of people skip asylum in other places. I think asylum is one of the emotional manipulations that the left uses. That I don't think is very rational. I think it's just a loophole. I mean, we all use.
I'm not
loopholes.
asking you how you think the left emotionally manipulates individuals. I'm asking you what incentivizes migrants to enter into the country with the use of undocumented means compared to documented means.
Not having to pay to get in, not having to go through the process. That sucks.
Okay, yeah, there you go. The reason individuals enter into America with the use of undocumented means compared to legal means is because the legal means are very slow and very expensive. Okay, so here's my question. Can you name one time that Donald Trump has ever even just stood at a podium and spoken into a mic in the last 10 fucking years saying that he wants to fix the issues with illegal means of entry into America, as that is the only way to effectively reduce undocumented migration into America in the long term?
Oh, I don't disagree. I mean, like I said, I'm more. I didn't say this, but I'm more of a swing voter, right? I'm not gonna feed you a bunch of bullshit and say that each side is right, but I also feel like the Democrats haven't done shit either.
Okay, so,
Why didn't they have
there's your
Joe
answer.
Biden?
There's the answer. So what you just told us was that Donald Trump has never done shit and likely will never do shit to effectively reduce undocumented migration into America. And here's the thing. Kamala Harris was. The bipartisan border bill that Donald Trump torpedoed under the Biden-Harris administration was the same policy that she ran on for her own term. And here's
So
the
what
thing about the
policy was she gonna
bipartisan.
change?
One moment. Here's the thing about the bipartisan border bill. I don't think it was that good of a bill, but what it was a step in the right direction, as the bill allotted close to $15 billion in additional funding to more courts on the southern border to hire more judges to slightly expedite legal claims of immigration in the context of asylum, residency, and citizenship, which would have done something to reduce undocumented migration in the long term. What this means for you is that, with your own self-admission, Donald Trump did nothing and will do nothing, but Kamala Harris will at least do something.
But can I ask you, what do you? All right, you were saying earlier that this is where I was trying to more expand because you started going on about how he was like it was low wages is slavery, right? And you're bringing up the minimum wage for whatever reason. I feel like that's more of a pivot. But whenever you go into the expansion of illegals coming here in the first place, I know that it's hard, but you're still coming here illegally. And Donald Trump is doing something about the people that are committing crimes, which it is a crime to enter the United States illegally, right? And you said that undocumented immigrants are less likely to commit crime, but they're already committing a crime by entering the country illegally.
Okay.
So what
Well,
is that logic?
I was gonna
Is
let,
that-
I was
is
gonna
that
go ahead and
unaccounted for?
I was gonna let you finish what you were saying, but I feel
Yeah.
as if I need to interrupt you as you
Go
were
ahead.
misrepresenting my statement. My statement
Okay.
is that undocumented migrants are 2 times less likely to commit violent crimes compared to natural-born U.S. citizens. Is undocumented migration into America a violent crime?
That's fair, but do you ever like take into like per capita into question? Because I mean, we're talking about 200 million Americans versus
This is a per capita statistic.
really. Do you have like sources or anything?
I do have sources.
What sources?
PNAS.
I will look this up right now.
PNAS has been
PNAS.
tracking crime statistics, including that of violent crimes, of undocumented migrants and arrest rates of violent crimes compared to that of natural-born U.S. citizens for the last 50 years. And I mean, what we consistently see is that undocumented migrants are significantly less likely to commit violent crimes compared to natural-born U.S. citizens. And I mean,
So
this
is
is
this
also
just
pretty
unenforced?
commonsensical.
What's comical about it?
I said commonsensical.
I don't know what that means. You can
It's
expand that on.
common sense. Like
common
obviously,
sense, okay.
obviously, undocumented migrants are going to be less likely to commit violent crime because if they were to get arrested and adjudicated insofar as committing a violent crime, well, their repercussions are a little bit more severe than citizens. So
I believe in individualism, so I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it just varies on
do
what kind
U.S.
of person.
citizens get deported from their home when they commit violent crimes?
Well, no, because they're citizens here already.
No,
that would make
exactly.
them-
So the
You get
consequences
deported in
are,
any
so the
other
con- so
country.
the consequences are a little bit more severe for undocumented migrants, which is one reason why undocumented migrants are less likely to commit violent crimes.
So why is it? Well, you're using deported out of your home like as if it's like we're talking about Gaza and Israel or something, right? Where you're being unrightfully evicted from your location, right?
Wait,
But
I never said anything about right or
no,
wrong.
I'm saying the
Wait,
word.
one second.
you're
Yeah, you
deporting
keep
them
you
from
keep
your home.
you
This
keep
isn't their home,
you keep continuing to misrepresent my position.
It's not a
I merely,
misrepresentation.
of course, it is a misrepresentation because you said that I don't think it's okay to deport violent offenders and that's unjust. I never said anything about right or wrong. Okay, I was just merely saying that this is a motivation insofar as why undocumented migrants commit less violent crimes, why it's commonsensical to believe such, on top of the source that I gave you from PNAS.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you: do you think that
You're going to pivot. Sweet.
Do you think Kamala Harris would have passed exactly this immigration law? How would it have gotten passed through Kamala Harris through a more right-wing Senate? Say she did win, but we won the House and won the Senate. What would you do? You just gonna make excuses for why we lost and just keep blaming the Republicans, or are we gonna kind of, deport the people that are here?
I don't
because
understand this
they're a
question.
Problem?
Wait, I don't understand this.
How are you
because-
not?
Yeah, because you're asking me, well, what about the pragmatic concern of how the Kamala Harris administration would be able to pass this policy, assuming that Republicans won both the House and the Senate? Can I just say, like, hypothetically, what if Democrats won both the House and the Senate under a Trump term and the pragmatic concerns in which would follow with him passing his policy? You could say this about any president ever.
Well, I might not disagree, but I mean, he's going out of his way to use executive order, right?
Exactly.
So instead of policy,
To use executive
piece
order.
of paper policy, we're using executive action.
But I've
So-
demonstrated how his tendency to use short-term executive action does nothing in the long term. And you admitted to this when you told me that never in the last 10 years he has ever presented any solution to reduce undocumented migration in the long term by fixing issues at the southern border today, such as depraved, neglected legal means of entry. So like, thanks for like another pivot. I just want to clarify.
agree with the executive
One moment,
action,
one
so
moment.
instead of
I just
policy.
want to pivot. I just want to point out the fact that you've been pivoting with everything. Okay. So first you told me that Donald Trump was better for long-term solutions at the southern border than Kamala Harris. I point out that's wrong. Actually, the opposite is true. You ignore that. And then you're like, well, most of these individuals are criminals. And Dean, you said that they're 2 times less likely to commit crimes than natural-born U.S. citizens. Then I was like, no, you're misrepresenting my position. I said they're 2 times less likely to commit violent crimes. I gave you my source, which was PNAS, as well as a common sense way to come to that conclusion. The consequences for them are more severe. That's one motivation they may have to not commit violent crimes. And then you pivot, and then you brought up a pragmatic concern about, well, how would Kamala Harris get her policy passed if the Republicans won both the House and the Senate? And then I'm like, you could ask that same question about any president ever in a hypothetical sense by positing that the other side of the aisle won the House and the Senate. So what the hell are you saying that about Kamala Harris for? And then you pivot. So let's get back to the basics. My claim.
Well, you asked me why I voted for
My
Trump,
claim-
or why I support him. Do you want
My-
to know why I support him?
Well, you said immigration, and my claim
Yeah.
is that Kamala Harris was better for immigration than Donald Trump, for the reason being that she at least had some policy to serve as a long-term solution to reduce undocumented migration into America. Donald Trump had none, and I think that Donald Trump's policy of mass deportation puts America last. It's very bad for the
No way.
labor force in America. It's very bad for the American economy. It's very bad for government expenditure and income. And it's very bad for economic growth in the sense of real GDP, as well as it's very bad for humanitarian concerns. And particularly the way that Donald Trump has gone about his mass deportation has been very bad for due process and law and order, passing one of the worst bills in modern American history with the Lake and Riley Act, which actually just leads to more harm.
Okay, so you said a whole lot there, so I'm just gonna pick and choose what you just said there. So with the GDP, is there any signs of the GDP going down at the moment, other than predictions?
Yeah, well, we know that we know that immigrants are expected to add $1.7 trillion to the GDP in the course of the next 10 years. Plus, if you are a productive provider, meaning that you pay more in taxes than you take from our government, that requires spending money to grow our GDP. When you remove productive providers from the economy, you reduce GDP growth. It's pretty.
Because if you
common
look at like
sense.
the GDP now, I mean, it's still not going down.
Wait, are you arguing that when we remove millions of people that spend money in our economy, it doesn't reduce GDP growth?
No, I'm not going to say that, but I mean, we also
Okay,
do
well,
take
exactly. You
immigrants.
wouldn't say that, but that's
You're
what's
acting
happening.
like
That's my argument.
immigration completely stopped. That makes no sense.
Wait, that's what makes no sense. All that I'm saying is that when we remove millions of people from America that spend money in the American economy, GDP growth slows.
Yeah, it slows down. That doesn't mean that it's tanking. You're saying that it's going down. That's
Okay,
what you're advocating for.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that mass
Those things
deportation
slow down.
places America first, America last, as it slows GDP growth, reduces government revenues, increases government expenditures, reduces average qualities of lives, and infringes upon humanitarian concerns and due process. Do you have a rebuttal to the position?
I just don't think that number is going to really make that much of a difference when we have millions of people that fly into America for just tourism. It's like, I don't understand that logic. I mean, maybe as if we shut down tourism too.
Okay.
Banned all of China
Do
or something.
you think that Biden and Harris did something bad by funding Ukraine?
Oh, absolutely not.
Do you think that Biden and Harris spent too much money? Do you support Doge?
Doge, to an extent. But
Wait,
not
weren't you
fully.
arguing earlier that you didn't like the bipartisan border bill because it included funding for Ukraine?
No, I did not say that. You completely just put words in my mouth.
Okay.
I said, I
What
mentioned
did you say?
Ukraine. I said I said that the Republicans denied it back in the day. I said I didn't know the exact specific year. Now you're just putting words in my mouth because you're trying to get a gotcha out of nowhere for
I'm
whatever
asking
reason.
you a question, sir. Calm
Well,
down.
I told you no, and you told me yes.
So
that
I'm
I did
asking you to
that.
clarify on what you said. That's all.
Oh, I support Ukraine 100%, and I don't think they spent too much money. I think it sucks. I don't think they should have clumped it into the border bill.
Okay.
I do think it should have been by itself. And I said that it was stupid that the Republicans still turned down the border bill because of Donald Trump telling Republicans to deny it after they did a separate bill with only the border. So, no,
So here's
I
my
don't think
claim.
that applies.
You said that you don't really care about the negative economic implications that would be caused by mass deportation, right?
No, I didn't say. I said I don't think it will affect it as much as people really
I mean,
exaggerate.
I could qualify exactly how. Undocumented migrants pay $100 billion in taxes per year on the federal, state, and local level. If we were to do mass deportation of all undocumented migrants in America, our government forgoes $100 billion in additional revenue per year. It also is expected to cost $175 billion in upfront costs, and that's coming from the House Republicans' appropriation for expenditure on the mass deportation. So that's not a projection, that's a fact, okay? So we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars annually, plus the undocumented migrants are a part of the $1.7 trillion that are going to be added to our GDP in the next 10 years by immigrants. So when we deport them all of a sudden we forgo all of those very positive things in the economy. Meanwhile, if we were to offer them a pathway to residency or citizenship, they'd be able to get paid higher wages as they'd have more bargaining power, meaning that they'd go from paying $100 billion per year in taxes to more than $100 billion per year in taxes. They'd go from adding $1.7 trillion to our GDP in the next 10 years to more than $1.7 trillion to our GDP in the next 10 years. These numbers are meaningful. These numbers are big. And that is why mass deportation places America last when contrasted to mass amnesty or offering nonviolent undocumented migrants a pathway to residency or citizenship. I'll merely ask you the question. Give me one reason why mass deportation is better than mass amnesty.
Well, I mean, did you see New York back in the day before we deported everybody, or do you remember seeing people sleeping on the streets, on the sidewalks because there wasn't enough hotels? What's the answer to that?
I'm so sorry, what? Are
Do you
are
remember
saying that
seeing
one
all the
reason
immigrants
are
in
you-
New York sleeping on
I'm
streets?
gonna have to like paraphrase your argument for you. So you're
Yeah.
saying that there's just too many people in our country and they're sleeping on the streets?
No, I think it's handled poorly. So I think just accepting everybody is dog shit because I do believe in reform. I'm not going to
Okay,
say
so
that
then
Trump
give me
for it,
give me
because
one
that's
real
not
reason.
important.
Instead of just saying nah, it's bad, it's dog shit. Name one reason why mass deportation is better than giving undocumented migrants a pathway to residency or citizenship. Like quantify this in like a real way. Don't just give me rhetoric. Don't just give me one-liners. Give me real data, real facts. What is one data point which would
I
suggest
can't give you data when this is the first time in history that we've ever done something like this. So how can you?
We've been,
why don't you just wait
under the
until we
Biden
see
Harris
what
administration, we deported over 300,000 individuals per year, as well as
I think it would've been
as
better
well
if
as
it
it's
was
the case.
Obama.
So we know the economic implications of immigration as a whole by the legal means that already exist, and of mass deportation as it's already existed for years. So,
Also
what is
deport
one
people in
reason why
2016.
mass deportation is better than mass amnesty?
What do you mean by amnesty, mass amnesty?
Offering undocumented migrants a pathway to residency or citizenship.
Well, I'm not necessarily against that, but I mean, as if that's not what it's either you do something or you don't. That's the thing, and he's doing something. I think that all the other, I know it's just hypotheticals, but it's also hypothetical because Kamala's not going to be president. She isn't president. She lost the election, right?
Okay, so you don't have
I
a
mean,
reason?
These are all just predictions.
So you don't have a reason why it's better?
I have a reason is that I'd rather these people not be sleeping in the floors. I'd rather not my tax dollars be going to people for their EBT cards unless they're American
Okay, why are
citizens.
you lying?
Lying about what?
EBT and food stamps do not go to undocumented migrants. You have
Yes,
to
they
have.
do.
No, that's not true. Would you like me to?
They've literally
Would you
even
like?
said that.
Would you? Would you
YouTube
like me?
videos of
Would
people
you? Would
going
you like
over
me to
to
reference?
interview
Would you like?
the
Would you like me to?
immigrants.
Would you like me to reference the USDA.gov federal website, where even they say that you have to have legal residency or citizenship in order to get food stamps or EBT?
Depending on what state you live in.
No, it's federal law.
Yeah, because federal law, weed's illegal in every fucking state for federal law. Does that mean we all follow federal law? That's so, like,
Oh,
I think
so
that's a
are
very
you saying that
different
some states are breaking federal law and giving EBT and food stamps to undocumented migrants?
oh, absolutely.
Like which states?
California.
Okay, give me
Specifically?
evidence.
Can I give you any evidence? No, I cannot present to you evidence because of the fact that I don't look up a website, right? You give me one source of a site of a website as if it's like the dead truth. Like where's all the several websites, right? If I gave you a website or anything, you would be like, oh, well, this person is proven to be a liar or, misleading, right? Or misrepresenting, right?
I hate it when people
come
do
on,
this.
I mean, each website
I hate
is
it.
funded
I hate it
by
when
an
people do this.
organization.
I hate it when
It's
people
such a-
do this. I hate it when people do this. Do you know what you're doing right now that I hate?
What do you hate? Let's hear it.
You can't give me evidence for the claim that you made. So now you're just
I'll give you evidence based off of just like YouTube.
you can't give me evidence for the claim that you made. So now you're just like trying to like somehow justify not giving me evidence because you think that I'll reject it no matter what it is. You're
You will.
freaking out.
I'm not freaking out.
Of course you are. You're trying to justify making a claim without evidence. You conspiracy theorist cultist.
Yeah, conspiracy theorist cultist, right?
Of course. Wait, of course I could use those terms. What do you think those words even mean? A conspiracy theorist is an individual that would believe in a hypothesis in lack of good reason, and you're literally justifying not having any reason for the hypothesis that you hold to be the truth. That is definitionally speaking a conspiracy theory.
I mean, how many illegals are you actually friends with? Because I'm actually friends with illegals too. So
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
just using
Tokenize your
this
friends
as
that are
an
undocumented
example.
migrants.
And
But
then they talk
I will
about
not
it.
be talking about any undocumented migrants that I know interpersonally in my private life on the internet.
I'm not asking for their names.
No, I'm not going to give you any information about anybody that may or may not be in my life that's an undocumented migrant, as I find that incredibly irresponsible.
Responsible?
Irresponsible, yeah.
They're irresponsible?
No, I find it I would find it incredibly irresponsible of me to share any
to refer to somebody
to share like
who's
any
not gonna be
information, if you'd allow me to finish, to share any information about anybody who may or may not be in my life with an undocumented status.
So illegals, yeah. All right.
Also, I do just want to clarify. So, is your response to the fact that I pointed out that you believe in this hypothesis without any fucking evidence, meaning that you're definitionally speaking a conspiracy theorist?
Well, other than people
Your
that
response.
talk to me
One
personally.
moment.
I mean,
One
it's
moment.
just one-on-one experience.
Your response to this is to say that you have illegal friends, and I quote.
Well, they're first generation American citizens because their parents were illegal. That's the thing, and they also still believe that their parents shouldn't be here. I mean, it's not like a self-hate thing. They just after they really
and the truth
American
comes
youth.
out. And the truth comes out. So your evidence that undocumented migrants get food stamps is U.S. citizens getting food stamps. Nice.
No, their parents getting food stamps. That makes no sense, but okay.
It's not true. It's not true. Undocumented migrants don't get food stamps absolutely anywhere in America.
Yep, there's no loopholes. You can't illegally buy fake social security numbers on the internet. That never happens for sure.
Oh wait, so you're saying that undocumented migrants attain food stamps with the use of illegal means?
Some of them do, yeah.
So then what the fuck does that have to do with about legality of it? Come on, what the fuck?
Use a social security number
What
that
the
is
fuck?
stolen.
Dude,
What?
what the hell, dude? This is crazy. So you told me that, oh, you want undocumented migrants to stop being reliant on our government's resources. But then you're saying that some undocumented migrants only get these resources by like literally buying them from other people or using a fake SSN. First of all, you're literally saying that undocumented migrants have to commit literal fucking identity fraud to get food stamps. Do you understand that U.S. citizens could do that too? U.S. citizens that fall on top of the income threshold to be eligible for food stamps can also commit identity fraud to get food stamps. So should we
agree, and they
deport
should go
all
to
U.S.
jail.
citizens too, since they
No,
could
they should
also
go to
commit
jail.
identity fraud to get U.S. food stamps?
No, they should go to jail.
They should face consequences. I also agree that undocumented migrants that commit identity fraud to get food stamps should face
Should be deported.
consequences.
should be deported, right?
Oh no, I don't think that individuals that commit crimes should be deported. No.
So you should be able to go to other countries and commit crime that you're not supposed to be doing, and they should just keep you, right? Let's go.
Well,
commit
no.
crime
The
in
only
Netherlands
reason why I don't think
where
that
the
criminals
prison
should be sent
systems
out of the
are
country is
relaxed.
because you think that a criminal should be able to run the country. Come on.
What are you? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you're like, oh, dude, identity fraud on the streets
Buddy,
of America.
I mean, with your
That's so
logic, he's
terrible.
not a criminal
We
because-
need to get him booted out of the country. But I don't know, 34 felonies in a grape case. Put him in the Oval Office. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah, because none of the Democratic nominees are in the office with grape cases either. Nope. Or sexual harassment or anything. Yep. That never happens.
Okay, so your argument now is that there's Democrats in positions of power that have been held civilly liable for grape. Like who?
I didn't say grape. I said sexual harassment or anything.
Okay. And what do you think I'd say?
And it
about them?
happens.
What do
I'm
you,
not gonna.
What do you think?
I'm not gonna-
What do you think I'd say about them?
I don't think you'd say anything because that's why you don't ever complain about them. I complain about them. That's the difference.
Here's the thing. If anybody is in a position of power, especially in our government, but that's been held civilly liable for grape, and by the way, you did say grape, I would not want them in that position of power. But instead, you are now trying to make the argument that you're okay with Donald Trump, the grapist, being in a position of power, since other individuals that are in a position of power are also grapists. So you're essentially saying the more people that do bad things, the more okay that bad thing becomes. And I'm so sorry, sir. I unilaterally reject that reasoning. I think that the first American slave owner was just as bad as the worst American, is just as bad as the last American slave owner. Regardless of the amount of bad actors that do bad things, it doesn't make the bad
but you sit on
action
TikTok
any better.
and debate for those all the time. I'm confused. You're not like an advocate for it. That
An,
doesn't make any
an
sense.
advocate for what specifically?
An advocate to get rid of anybody that has had any type of, let's say, I don't know what the TOS of TikTok is, but something obscene, in terms of cases.
Wait,
Why
yeah,
do you
I
not go
am.
out of your way?
Wait,
You
yeah, I
do?
am. I go out of the way to do that. I'm always talking about grape culture.
did that on your
But I
life.
think it's really funny that you are the one trying to sit on the fucking moral podium saying, oh, Dean, you don't talk about grape culture enough when you're the one actively perpetuating grape culture by voting for and continuing to support a grapist. Holy fucking
I'll be
shit.
honest,
I
was it
can't even
grape?
believe this.
Was
I
it
can't even
grape,
believe it.
Or was it, because there's two different things. Grape is a very strong word, and in legal terms, that means I'm not going to go too expansive, but you know exactly what I mean. There's a difference between being harassed and then grape. So I'm not saying either one's good or one's wrong, but I still think they're both wrong. But I mean, grape is probably a little bit worse. It's kind of like somebody who involuntarily manslaughtered somebody versus somebody who manslaughtered somebody.
Does your definition of grape include the penetration of a woman's female member with a man's fingers?
I'll be honest, it does. But I mean, whenever I argue with people, they tell me otherwise. So I mean, sure, if we go with the legal concept, sure, yes.
I'm going to go ahead and pause. I'm going to ask you my question again. Listen to it closely. Does your definition of grape that you hold to be true include the penetration of a woman's female member without consent forcefully with a man's fingers?
That does consider my moral definition. Yes, absolutely.
Phenomenal.
Legal perspective, no.
So then you do think that Donald Trump was held liable for the action of grape because that was
absolutely.
the action that he was held liable for.
Absolutely.
So then why 5 seconds ago did you say, was it grape?
Legally, it wasn't.
So do you think that we should operate off of the legal standard?
Yes, because that's why I believe in deportations.
How many American enslaved individuals were graped before the Civil War?
Dude, I have no fucking clue.
Well, yes, you do, because operating off of the legal standard, there was 0.
Well, I guess so. But
now,
I mean,
now you're fucking it. Now, yeah, see,
That's
that is so insane to say. There's absolutely so many words that I have
It's
for you
emotional.
right. There's so many words that I have for you right now that I can't say because we're on TikTok. But honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and just let the chat speak for me on this one, because if I speak my mind, this live will get banned.
I just want to say they're calling me groypers, which is fucking cringe. But I'm not a groyper. You guys are fucking stupid.
I'm gonna get banned if I speak my mind. I just want to point out the fact that you just said that there's not a single enslaved individual in America that was raped, and how incredibly false and grotesque of a position this is, and how this is why I know that you're a member of the cult, because you are willing to do literally anything to justify that Donald Trump is Jesus 2.0, even going so far as to deny the fact that there was a single enslaved individual during American slavery raped. Feel free to respond to that.
It's an emotional pivot, but whatever. I don't really give a
What's
shit.
an emotional pivot?
What you're doing, because I
I want you
on the
to
legal
define
perspective, but my
emotional
morals-
pivot.
No, you said that. I strictly said that it never happened.
One second. I want
Which
you
I
to.
did not
I
true.
want you
You
to
said that,
define.
and I agreed. You fucking clown.
I want you to define emotional pivot.
Emotional pivot. All right. I said legally.
No, we're not
Yes,
talking
you-
about what you and I said. We're talking about a definition of the phrase. Don't stop talking about you and Dean and define the phrase emotional pivot.
Using emotional
Being emotional.
arguments
Emotional
to try
arguments.
to pivot the conversation.
What's an
to where
emotional
we're
argument?
not. An emotional argument is where you're obviously arguing upon emotion and not reason or logic.
Okay. Okay. So I just think the only reason why the reason and logic in my counterposition to your statement was not like, I don't know, clear to you is because you're not a reasonable, logical person. Okay? I gave you a very reasonable and logical rebuttal. You made the claim that we define what grape is and isn't predicated off what the law says. Okay? The counterposition that I've been granted to you was, well, in accordance with with your view, there was not a single enslaved individual during American slavery that was graped, as the law never defined forceful or /an unconsensual intercourse with an enslaved individual as grape. So the reason why this is not an emotional rebuttal, but it's rather a reasonable and logical one, is because it points out the absurdity within your position. Okay.
I don't even know what slavery has to do with Donald Trump.
So what was my comparison? I want to see if you could
But
pull out the polka dot
gotta
paper
go.
and crayons.
I gotta go
Run,
get barbecue.
run away.
I'll take this L with this.
Run away,
Yeah, run away.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, run away.
I don't really care. You're emotionally manipulative, and it's clear what you do. I mean, it's what most Democrats do. But whatever. I mean, let's sulk on 300 years ago.
Don't worry. I remember when I was like a little kid and somebody would like make a good point to me. I'd get really mad, scream,
It's not a
call
good
names,
point.
and run away.
It's you're using irrational arguments towards something that isn't relevant.
Do you have any other? Do you have any other
You're
keywords
using
you want to get
analogies,
out?
and analogies make you lose arguments. But you know,
Do you have any other keywords that you want to get out there, bud? I mean, you're really gunning
I mean,
for all
you're
of like the
using
one.
keywords.
You're really gunning for all of the one-liners. Have anything else to whine about? I mean, dude. I mean, this is an inviting space. You know, you gotta say what. So you gotta say how
I
you
get that.
feel.
I'm gonna go get barbecue later.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna go to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just going to give us a minute to get that next guest up in the box. That guy was emotional. See, that's what happens to a lot of the guests when they get proven wrong. They just can't handle it, so then they get mad. For the 7,000 people in the TikTok stream right now, first of all, Yane, thank you so much for the galaxy. And second of all, you guys, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen. We have an absolute fucking legion of people in the stream right now. If everybody started double tapping right now, we'd be at 2 million likes in no time. We are going to go ahead and get that next guest up in the box as we speak. So if you are MAGA, go ahead and hop in that queue for me, and we're going to get you loaded up in here. But everyone just, give us a minute. Jaden joined and Jaden left. It doesn't look like Jaden wants to engage in conversation. Also, make sure to share this live with a handful of friends. We're at 1.3 thousand shares. That is great. Spam that chat. Here we go. The next guest is loading up. If you're in the queue, make sure that you voted for Trump. What is going on, Zyla? Did you vote for Trump? Zyla muted themselves. Zyla, I'm going to go and give you to the count of 5 to unmute yourself. Hi. Did you vote for Trump?
I did not vote for Trump.
All right. Well, we're just looking for debates. What is up, Wilmer? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I voted for Trump.
Okay, you're the most obvious child ever, so we're going to go to move on to the next guest. Guys, remember, if you're in that queue, make sure that you're at least 18 years old. Make sure that you're from America. Make sure that you voted for Trump. Y'all already know. Quite frankly. You already know. What is up, Thistle? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Thistle, how old are you?
3.
Would you repeat that for me? You're lagging. Oh, we got somebody with MAGA. mobile.
33.
33, great. Okay, great.
33.
Before we start a debate here, I really want to thank Kay for the $20 super chat over on YouTube. Thank you, Kay. Kay says, "Hey, Dean, my girlfriend of 5 years broke up with me over the phone yesterday. Thanks for giving me a useful thing to focus on when all I want to do is lay in bed all day. Keep fighting the good fight. You're a legend." I'm so sorry about that, Kay. I'm so sorry to hear that. And I'm happy that, this is something to take your attention off of a breakup. Fun fact, I actually started doing these lives in the first place to take my attention off of a breakup, so they do work. And then also, Sid, thank you so much for the $50 super chat over on YouTube. Holy crap, Sid. It's so good to see you today. We got Queen Sid in that chat. At least 500 W Sids down below and 500 W's for K as well. Showcase some love. Showcase some special love. But also, Sid, you guys are awesome. But Thistle, let's go ahead and hop into that conversation. Why'd you do it, man? Why'd you vote for Trump?
I want to say, first of all, first-time Trump voter, Democrat voter for the past few elections since I've been eligible to vote. I think the thing that really bothered me was the way that and this isn't the first time it's happened, but the DNC and the Democratic Party have an issue with not putting a candidate up who's democratically elected or popular. They did it to Bernie Sanders, where they completely sabotaged him with Hillary Clinton and then lost. And then the same thing with Kamala, who I refer to affectionately as Mamala. Yeah, she was a terrible DEI candidate. Joe Biden admitted that. She didn't have the qualifications to be vice president, and then she became the de facto candidate based on them, of course, lying to us about his mental capacity, and then pretty much destroying themselves in the process, which is unfortunate because I do want our country to have two strong competing parties. But I feel that Donald Trump really, has grassroots support, less billionaire donors, which are things that
You're trolling.
usually
You're joking. Come on. I mean, everything that you said so far is absurd.
That's not
but
a
that
troll.
one's-
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Okay.
If you look at billionaire donations to either candidate, Democrats received far more than Donald Trump.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Ready
Well,
for what? That's a fact.
Ready
I
for
know
my,
that.
Ready for my rebuttal. So you dug your own grave there. That's why I let you to speak that's why I let you speak without interruption, is because you dug your own grave. You told me that Kamala Harris was a terrible, underqualified DEI candidate. And the reason why I let you get that out with no interruption, with a smile on my face, is for this one small reason. Name one way that Donald Trump is more qualified than the terrible, underqualified DEI candidate Kamala Harris.
Because he has his own ideas.
I think you need to be much more specific. What is it? Is it housing policy? Is it economic policy? Is it immigration policy? Is it foreign affairs? Is it character? Is it experience in public offices? Just name one concrete way that Donald Trump is more qualified than the terrible, underqualified DEI candidate Kamala Harris.
I start with just the low-hanging fruit of common sense, being able to answer a question with your own idea that you come up with versus like what your team's telling you to say, or the system that you're just a puppet of, that's put you forward to.
This is a very subjective point, okay? We could go back and forth all day. I'll win. I will, okay? Because this is when I could say, oh, what has Donald Trump said in response to the question of who won the 2020 election? What has Donald Trump said in response to the question, why did you try to rig it and steal the election from Biden? What about the 30,000 lies that he told during his presidency? What about the question, what's his healthcare policy at the debate with Kamala Harris? Or what about the fact that Kamala Harris fucking swept the debate with Donald Trump, and he was so pressed about the fact that he lost that he started accusing her of wearing an earpiece, even though it's just an ear ring. Okay?
Or like, for
but at the end of the day,
example,
one moment. Like the statement, he's better at answering questions, more commonsensical. It's not as much of an objective point. It's more, we're both just going to be talking at one another, trying to make our points clear. I'll probably win, but I want a more objective point, because if Donald Trump is great and Kamala Harris is terribly underqualified and a DI candidate that shouldn't have been there, you should be able to point out to me and say something along the lines of, well, Dean, check this out. She was so underqualified that for that reason, Donald Trump's economic policy and plans for the American people were better. Here's what his plans were contrasted to what her plans were and why his were better. She was so underqualified that her housing affordability policy sucked. She was so underqualified that her proposed foreign affairs was significantly worse than the foreign policy that Donald Trump has today and in his first term for for these following reasons. Just give me something objective like that. Compare the policy of the candidates and just show me one way Donald Trump is more qualified than the underqualified DI candidate of Kamala Harris. I'm just gonna be honest, man. You're really struggling.
I'm not struggling. The point that I was trying to make was that she's a DEI candidate because Joe Biden said, quote, I don't know who I'm going to pick, but it's going to be a black woman. And I don't see how that you find that helpful for racial equality, to say that I'm going to choose someone just based on their race, instead of just saying I'm going to pick the best candidate for the job and then picking the black woman because they're the best candidate.
Okay.
I mean, that makes her look like an idiot.
So we went into this yesterday with a guest on my live. He did not say that. He actually said that my vice president will be a woman. He never said black woman specifically. He said woman. We went into this with the guests yesterday, and I support Joe Biden's decision. I think it was a smart one, not just for more representation in our leadership, but also for the better treatment of the American people. At the end of the day, a woman is going to better understand the struggles, the needs, and the attentions and the desires, thoughts, wants, and feelings of other women compared to a man. Any way you look at the issue, that's the truth. Just like how a poor person will better understand the struggles of what it means to live in poverty compared to a billionaire, okay? Regardless of how educated or thoughtful that billionaire is.
I agree.
Right? So when Joe Biden said, I'm going to ensure that my vice president is a woman, I feel like that was advocating for representation in the executive branch of our government that we've never seen before, which was fucking awesome. But also, it was just to better serve to the American people, which I thought was a great thing, okay? But, this is a pivot because at the end of the day, I never contested your original argument that Kamala Harris was underqualified in DEI. We were going to get there, but for the intents and purposes of this first conversation, I'm accepting it. And I'm saying, okay, hey, let's see where your logic leads you. If Kamala Harris is so underqualified, if she's such a DEI candidate with no qualifications, name one way that Donald Trump, the based on merit pick you voted for, was better than her in. Was it domestic policy? Was it foreign policy? Was it character? What was it? How was he better than the terrible underqualified candidate with nothing to justify her campaign for the presidency? Tell me one way, sir.
I could pick any of them. I mean, I really wasn't happy with their policies for most areas.
Sure, name one Kamala Harris policy that she had proposed, that she ran on in her campaign that you disagreed with. Let's do it. Let's play the game. Name one.
Well, I anticipated that her policies would pretty much be in line with Joe Biden's, especially given the fact that, when asked if she'd do anything differently, she said, nothing comes to mind in terms of, and I've been there during most of the conversations.
So you actually can't.
She could have spoke.
You
can't
can't
interrupt
name
me now. Or?
Yes. You can't name one Kamala Harris policy that she ran on that you didn't like. You have to resort back to Biden. But I'm fine with that.
She didn't have any policy. The only policy I know
That's
that she
not
had was
true.
no taxes on tips, which she stole from Donald Trump.
So
It was
this
a great
is
idea.
this is an argument from ignorance. You're saying that, well, I never educated myself on the policies she ran on. So because I think I'm really smart and intelligent and know everything, this must mean that she had no policies. That's not true. She had more policies than Trump. Okay. But let's just stick with the original argument before we pivot here. Name one policy passed under the Biden-Harris administration that you thought was bad.
Mostly the genocide that was happening.
Support for Israel is what you didn't like.
Yeah, and I'm not happy with it now either. Before you put that smirk on your
Who
face.
supports Israel more, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
Which party foments more wars?
You're not going to pivot
Zero wars
around-
under Donald Trump.
You're not going to pivot
Look how
around
many
my
wars Joe
question.
Biden started.
The
They
pivoting-
love the prison. They love the
sir,
military-industrial complex. They're all about
sir,
it.
the pivot
They
is
love
embarrassing.
billionaires. They love the military-industrial
5,
complex. They
4.
love the prison-industrial.
Answer my question. Who's more pro-Israel? Kamala Harris or Donald Trump? Dude, these guests today have been terribly insufferable. This guy's pivoted like seriously 15 times in the last 45 seconds. I will say it's a very special skill that I only have because I do these conversations for 4 hours a day to keep them on track. It is a very special skill. Thistle, go ahead and unmute that mic for me and answer my question. To unmute your mic, click on your profile picture and click the icon of the mic there, bud. There you go. Who is more pro-Israel, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
You are so haughty and condescending.
Oh, I'm definitely condescending to people like you. There's nothing I could do about it. I'm a sassy man. It's
I haven't been condescending, rude, said anything unkind to you. I mean, this is like...
Yeah, dude, I get it. I'm condescending. Woo. Okay, now answer my question, please. I'll work on it. Oh, hey, what if I say that? I'll work on my condescending attitude. You that's a promise.
I mean,
I mean that too. I mean that too. Listen, man, I agree. Sometimes I'm more condescending than I should be, okay? But that's not the point, is it? Okay, I'll work on myself if you answer my question. who's more pro-Israel, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
I thought I answered it.
No, you didn't. Give me a name. Kamala Harris or
Oh,
Donald Trump, who's more
maybe you had me
pro-Israel?
muted. I didn't realize that you'd muted me. Donald Trump.
Okay. So I just want to reframe how we got here. You told me that Kamala Harris was underqualified because the plans that she ran on were bad. I asked you to name one Kamala Harris policy that was bad, and you just said, well, it was actually the policy under the Biden-Harris administration that was bad that made her unqualified in DEI. I then ask you what policy, then you say their support for Israel, meaning in other words, you think because Kamala Harris supports Israel that she's underqualified. Then I then asked you who supports Israel more, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. You said Donald Trump. So now you're saying that, in other words, Donald Trump is less qualified than Kamala Harris as he supports Israel more than Kamala Harris.
And that's your logic. but
No, it's your
yes.
logic.
No, you just basically boiled it down to me saying that I didn't vote for Kamala Harris because she's unqualified, and then because Trump is more pro-Israel, that debunks what I just said.
Well, because you used her support for Israel to justify her lack of qualifications by her bad policy. Okay, right? And because Donald Trump supports Israel more than she does, he used worse
I don't
policy
support
than
Trump-
she does.
I
And
don't
because bad
support
policy
Trump's
means that you're underqualified, that means he's more underqualified than her. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. I don't support Trump's position on Israel. I at least think that I could respect him more, that he actually has a policy.
So you're going to, call what is happening to the Palestinians a genocide and claim to be pro-Palestinian, but then say that you're going to respect the candidate that makes the genocide and ethnic cleansing worse?
So the difference is the majority
What's
of
a policy that
Americans
you're
have
referencing? Trump Gaza?
the issue is the majority of Americans have been very unhappy with the amount of money that we are sending overseas for foreign wars and the interventions that the United States takes to foment wars in other places because we make money off of the military-industrial complex. Okay? So the issue is that under Donald Trump's first presidency, we did not have any wars because he's made it clear that he does not want to be involved in foreign wars. Joe Biden got us involved in many, many wars, and the American people are very unhappy with the fact that money is not going to people that are suffering from natural disasters, and money keeps getting sent to Israel, Ukraine, and Donald Trump has repeatedly said, I'm going to stop doing that, and has a track record of doing that. Kamala Harris is going to continue what Joe Biden was doing, which is exactly my point. So the fact that that Donald Trump supports Israel does not make my argument moot because I made it clear that I do not support him doing that either.
It refutes your argument because
You can't understand that just because I didn't vote
Christ.
for Kamala Harris does not mean that I support everything Donald Trump's doing.
Okay. Anything else? Got it. So it does refute your argument because you just told me that Donald Trump promised to not support any foreign interests, but then you tell me that when he does support foreign interests, you just say that he does support it. That's a contradiction. Second of all, I think that support for Ukraine was great. I think that support for Ukraine was a necessity, not only for Ukraine, not only for Europe, not only for allies, but also for us. And I'm just going to go ahead and give you a quick deduction insofar as why that's the case. A passive stance on Russian expansionism doesn't work, and we know this. I mean, when Russia annexed Crimea in 2014 under the Obama-Biden administration, what was their response to that?
Say that again.
When Russia expanded and annexed Crimea under the Obama administration, what was the Obama's administration's response to that?
Don't recall.
Nothing. They left it alone. They did what Trump wants to do right now. They said, well, we're not going to help them. We're not going to send them any money. We're just going to completely fucking ignore it because it's not our problem. But what did that do? Okay. It then led to Russia saying, oh, dude, wow, we get to rebuild the USSR for free? We get to rebuild the USSR and annex all these countries that we really, really, really want with no pushback from NATO, with no pushback from America, with no pushback from Europe. Holy shit, this is awesome. So then they rebuilt their military, they reloaded, and then they went for the full-on fucking invasion of the rest of Ukraine. So a passive position on Russian expansionism in the 21st century has proven to be terrible because this just emboldens Russia to expand more. So we know that we need to hold red lines against them. And that's why we need to respect the Budapest Memorandum, which is a denuclearization agreement we made with Ukraine in the 90s, stating if they give up their nukes, we'll defend them if they're invaded, alongside the rest of NATO and Europe, saying that if they try to expand, we will stand behind Ukraine and we will help fight against Russian expansionism, because when we don't, Russia expands, Russia ethnically cleanses, Russia kills, okay? And I think that is a great reason to sanction the state of Russia. And that is a great reason to support with the use of funding and military aid to countries such as Ukraine, especially when we consider the fact that we're not really sending them that much fucking money. It was $32 billion a year. Do you know how much mass deportation of all undocumented migrants in America would cost? Significantly more than all the support to Ukraine. It costs $100 billion a year in the opportunity cost of what undocumented migrants are paying in taxes right now. $175 billion in upfront costs, but apparently that's a good idea. And the cherry on top is that we know the Kremlin has been pushing propaganda in American media for the last 20 years. Okay, we've been known this, but you know what we figured out about a month ago is that the most recent propaganda that they pushed under the Biden-Harris administration included trying to convince Americans that Americans' expenditure on Ukraine was a bad thing that we shouldn't be doing. So you're actually believing exactly what Putin wants you to believe. You're actually thinking exactly what the Kremlin has paid propagandists and media news sources in America, like Tim Pool, like Benny Johnson, to convince you of.
Great. 0 wars under Trump.
Okay, well, that's also not true. So we had the Turkish-Kurdish war caused by a whole lot of Kurdistan, which is where we then left 60,000 Kurds to basically stay there. And
Wait,
suffer, die,
hold
or
on,
get out.
hold on.
We also had, one moment. We also
Can we talk about how Kamala Harris washed her collard greens?
No, because I'm going to go ahead and debunk your last claim. We also had a proxy war with Russia and Syria. We had a 438% increase in drone strikes in the Middle East. We also had a self-proclaimed war on ISIS. Not to mention that this time around, Donald Trump is pro-war. He says that he might want to use our military to invade Greenland, which would start World War III. Pulling back on support for Ukraine means that people in Europe, like the UK, are now considering putting boots on the ground, which would start World War III if Russia turned around and decided to attack a country like UK. Under Article 5 of the NATO articles, we'd be forced to get involved. Okay, not to mention his economic war that he's launched on our allies like Canada, like Mexico, like the rest of EU with the use of tariffs. He's definitely more pro-war now, but thanks for letting me debunk what you believe in. I've kind of debunked everything that you believed in. This is pretty clean, Dean W. Kind of just sweeping it 5-0.
You didn't even acknowledge the first 3 things that I said.
I've acknowledged every single thing that you've said.
Okay, can you acknowledge that the DNC completely sabotaged Bernie Sanders and doesn't put up candidates that are democratically elected?
So much?
Because that was the first point that I made. You literally skipped the first 3 things that I said that were true because you couldn't debate them.
Oh my God. Okay. How does the primary process work for the DNC or the RNC?
Just acknowledge that Bernie Sanders was the one that was the popular candidate at the time, and they put Hillary Clinton up instead, and we lost for that reason.
Okay, yeah.
Why do you keep countering with a question?
Wait, what? Now we're talking about 2016? Yeah, I wish that Bernie Sanders was the candidate compared to Hillary Clinton.
Okay, then we can talk about Kamala Harris in 2020,
what the fuck
2024.
What the fuck does this have to do with any of the things that we were just discussing about why Donald
Trump? It has
is
to do with
Harris?
when I came on and you asked me for my reasons. That was the first reason that I gave, and you glossed over the first 2 or 3 things that I said because you couldn't argue them, and you went on to something else to try to catch me up.
Okay, then let's talk about them, man. Describe to me the primary process of the DNC and the RNC. I'll let you pivot because I'll just dunk on you here too.
It's not first, like I said before, it's not pivoting. It's the first thing that I said.
Bro, it was obviously a fucking
I'm not going to respond.
Bro, I'm so sorry. Don't try to convince anybody.
You don't get to respond to me with a question.
So yeah, this question is a part of my response because it's important to acknowledge and understand how the primary processes work within the party for you to understand my response. So I'm just simply asking you if you understand how the primary processes work.
Yes, I do. Okay, and I understand that they didn't follow it.
How do they work?
I'm not going to answer your question.
Okay. Just admit it if you don't know how to.
No, I do know how it works, and okay, I know that the Democrats.
So if you're not going to answer my question, we're at a stalemate. Just admit that you don't know, and I'll explain. Or I could just kind of be a good guy and say, hey, man, I understand you don't want me to answer my question. I could just explain it as is. I mean, how do you want to go about this?
I'm not going to keep repeating myself. I'm not answering your question. It's not because I don't know. It's because it's a simple question how our democratic process is supposed to work. And normally what happens is the person that gets the most votes would get put forward as the candidate. That was not Kamala Harris because she didn't get any votes. Remember, she didn't make it past Iowa. So that answers that question. And with Bernie Sanders, obviously.
Well, now you're equivocating between the primary processes in 2020 compared to 2024. That's fun. I gotta thank a couple donors real quick. First and foremost, Jesse, thank you so much for the $20 super chat over on YouTube. I want to see at least 200 W's for Jesse. Can you say W Jesse real quick, Mister?
I gotta go eat dinner. I don't know what this is.
Oh,
Talk to you later.
You're gonna run? You're gonna run?
Yeah,
like
my
the last
dinner's
guys?
ready.
Okay, feel free to run, man. I mean, everybody runs for me today, I guess.
I'm not running for you, but I don't know how to hang up. So, if I could just leave a closing statement, I miss Mama Love.
No, if you're gonna run, you don't get a closing statement, man. I don't make the rules. Just kidding, I do, and that's my rule. We're gonna get on to the next guest. By the way, there's a lot of people that donated that I gotta thank, and trust me, I will. I just gotta get that next guest up here first because I was gonna thank you all there, but then he interrupted me. He was like, "Oh, I gotta leave." So we're gonna move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. We got Jay loading up into the stream. Everyone, just do be patient. We got Jay loading up in. We got Chelsea loading up in. We got Jonas loading up in. We got all the Trump supporters loading into the live. Quite frankly, let's see who connects. Here we go, guys. Yo, what is going on, Jonas? Did you vote for Trump?
Whoa, I did not mean to do this.
No worries, Jonas. I got you, bro. We're going to get that next guest up in here. If you voted for Trump, go ahead and put a mag in that chat and join that queue. I will politely ask you guys to check if you're in that queue. And if you are in that queue and you voted for Trump, stay there. But if you're in that queue and you didn't vote for Trump, just hop out for me. You know, like ultimately speaking, if you come up on the live and you didn't vote for Trump, like I'm going to kick you nonetheless. You're wasting my time and your own. So I just recommend like not joining the queue in the first place. But we're going to get that next guest up here right now. We got MAGA loading in. We got Veronica and Copper loading in, Duke Cooper loading in. Everybody's loading into the stream today, all because we're trying to find one Trump supporter to pop up here and have a debate. All right, awesome. It doesn't look like Veronica's joining or Cooper. So we're gonna go ahead and kick Cooper and Veronica. What is going on? Point one, did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, hi. How are you doing, man?
Yes.
Are you saying yes?
Sure.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with
What's
that
up?
guy, so we're just going to move on to the next guest. That was a little weird. Everybody just going to give us a moment. Here we go. All right. Jennifer's loading in. Let's see if Jennifer loads up. We got Jennifer Simmons. What is up, Jennifer?
Hi, hello.
Hey,
I'm a huge fan
Oh,
of your whole.
I appreciate you for the love, Jennifer. Everyone, please show some love to Jennifer in that chat. Apologize for kicking you, but I'm guessing if you're a fan, you didn't vote for Trump. Just know that I love you. Know that I think you're awesome. Know that we all think you're great. And we are going to kick you to go find some Trump supporters. But you're awesome. All right, we got Sama loading up in. What's up, Sama? Did you vote for Trump? Sama, quite frankly, he's not here. All right, you guys. We got Below the Trenches loading up in. Let's see if Below the Trenches loads up in. What is up? Did you vote for Trump?
Hey, man, yeah.
Crazy echo.
An echo
Very bad. Oh, wait, it's fixed.
right now. Okay.
A little bit. You know, we'll go ahead and try it out. Okay, before we hop into a debate, I got a couple people to thank here. Let's see. Jammy, thank you so much for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. And what the fuck? Why did like half of my donations just disappear? What the hell? Yo, Alan! Dude, Alan with $100 Super Chat on YouTube. Holy fuck, Alan.
Why do you talk like that?
What? Because I'm excited because somebody just donated me $100. What the fuck is your problem?
All right, I was just wondering. It's just a weird, over-the-top voice. All good.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Would you not freak the fuck out if somebody just came up to you and handed you a $100 bill because they think that you're kicking ass?
I mean, it wouldn't sound that fake. Is all.
Dude, the only thing fake
All
about
good.
you is you calling in from Australia, acting as if you're from
I
America.
didn't say I was fake. No, are you being against me because I'm an immigrant right now?
What time
Because
is
I
it
have a
for
different
you?
accent?
What time is it for you?
It's 6:12.
What state are you in?
I'm in California.
Okay, well, it's actually not 6:12 in California. It's 3:13. So you are calling in from Australia. Stop trying to rage bait, you idiot. Oh shit! Live is
Well,
about to get
actually,
banned. Whoa!
hold on.
Live's about to
hold
get
on.
banned.
I'm
Live-
actually a citizen of America.
Live is about to get banned. Everybody, I just said that. Okay, if the live slipped out, If the live gets banned, head over to the YouTube. If the live gets banned, head over to the YouTube. I cannot call people that mean word. I can't do it. TikTok will ban me. I'm about to get banned. Everybody go to the YouTube stream. But yo, seriously, I want to get at least 1,000 W Allens in that live chat for the $100 donation, dude. That is seriously absurd. Thank you so much for the love, Alan. That is so incredibly kind. As well as there's like a bunch of other people that supported over Super Chat that I literally just can't see for whatever reason. They're just not showing up on my viewer activity where usually all the Super Chats show up. Thank you so much, Alan, as well as Jesse for the $20 donation over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you for the love, Jesse and Alan. Everybody, please show some love to Jesse and Alan. What is up, Christine? Did you vote for Trump? All right, Christine's not here. While we're getting that next guest up here, also show love to Nat. Nat with the $20 super chat over on YouTube. Nat says, saw you speak about your experience at the university. Thanks for standing up for minorities. It meant a lot. Nat, I love you. You're always in here. You're so awesome. 200 W's for Nat. Nat is so awesome. All of you guys are so awesome. Every single one of you beautiful souls. And I mean that very seriously. What is going on, Alberto? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I voted for Trump.
H, Alberto?
What?
How old are you?
I'm a nigger.
Okay, we're going to go to move on to the next guest. I apologize for Mr. Alberto. Okay, next guest, Mr. Bruce the Shark is loading in. Everyone just go ahead and give us a minute for the 7,000 people in here. Appreciate you for being here. Jeez, dude. Okay, all right. Just go and give us a minute. We got Kate and Lynn's loading up in. In the meantime, I'd really like to thank Bailey with a $5 donation over on Venmo. I do really appreciate you for the love. As well as Christine with the $10. Everyone, please show some love to Christine down below in that chat. Thank you so much for the love, Christine. I think that you're phenomenal. And then Thomas with the $20. Dude, Thomas, you're in here every single day. Show some love to Christine and Thomas and Ken with the $20 as well. Shout out, Ken. Then O for the $50 donation on Venmo towards the CPU. 500 WOs in the chat for the $50 donation towards the CPU. Dude, that is so kind of you, because Loki, I'm going to go need to buy a new one after this. Yo, $50 towards the computer fund. You are so base. That is so kind of you, O. I will legitimately be spending that on a CPU later. I got to get a new CPU. I got to get a new, I got to get some more RAM. It's going to be a long night for me. So just know that I appreciate that. And oh, what the hell happened to me? Why'd I disappear? Oh, what did I do? What the fuck? Oh, sorry guys. I don't know what I did to the live. There we go. I fixed it. I'm sorry. I was over here yapping about how awesome I think O is for the donation. And then next thing I know, like the live is all fucked up. But anyways, we're going to go and get recentered here. If you're watching the live and you voted for Trump, you guys, go ahead and hop in that queue for me. And we're going to go and get that next debater up here right now. Something I am noticing today, and I'm not going to lie, is that people have been significantly more scared to pop up here and have a debate with me compared to usual. So if you're a Trump supporter watching right now and you're not scared of having a debate, please go hop in that queue for me. And quite frankly, I just think that a lot of scared Trump supporters. Dakota, thanks for the galaxy. And what is going on? Christina, did you vote for Trump? Christina, I'm going to go and give you around 5 seconds here. Christina's not here, so we're going to go to move on to the next guest. Here we go, you guys. I really wish that I could just add people up from the phone. Hey, what is up, Leo Debates? Did you vote for Trump?
I did vote for Trump. How you doing, Dean?
I am doing phenomenal. James, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we got 2 Trump voters in the live. We're going to go and do a quick 1v2. But before we do, yo, Eli! Eli with the $100 super chat on YouTube. Dude, everybody show some love to Eli down below in the comment section. That is so incredibly kind of you. Eli, you are awesome, Mr. Eli. Everybody spam W Eli in the chat. $100 is so much money, and that's so kind of you. W Eli's in the chat. As well as W's for Pixel. That is Pixel with the $20 donation over on Super Chat saying, hey, Dean, thanks for dealing with all these people. You've kept me sane. Pixel, thank you for the love. And I'm happy that the lives can help keep you sane. They help keep me sane, too. Then also Stevani with the $20 over on Venmo from quite... Oh, no, I was banned. Wamp, wamp, wamp. No. 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 It's because I called him an idiot. Bro, I'm telling you, it just slips out sometimes, man. And I get banned. You can't call people idiots on TikTok. And it makes me really fucking sad, dude. It makes me so sad that I can't call people idiots on TikTok. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, and the account is on a ban warden? Shit. All right, we got to pop on that main account. But yo, Frankie! Oh my God, Frankie! Frankie, thank you so much for the 100 Canadian dollars over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you. Thank you so much, Frankie. You are awesome. Everybody, show some love to Frankie down below in that chat. Frankie says, kudos, Dean. Have you ever thought about running for your own state for the DNC? I bet I'll inevitably become a politician. I mean, I view that as a trajectory of my career. Because right now I just advocate for change, but if I was in a position of authority, like in Congress or whatnot, I'd be able to implement it, which I do value. And then also Dakota with the 14 Canadian dollars. Thank you so much. And then I'm just going to call you E because I don't know what your preferred name is. E with the $2 saying, wait, Dean, I am trans femme. I forgot how to change it. Yeah. Hey, please let me know in the chat, you know, what you'd like me to refer to you as, even though it is the case that your account says Eli. I will, of course, respect and support that. And I do really appreciate you so much for the love. And I think that's incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. Very kind. Very kind. But yeah, we got banned. So we're going to give it like 2 minutes to see. Appeal not approved, bro. And the account is apparently on a ban warning. Crazy work. What the hell? Yeah, we got a day ban. Womp womp. We're going to go live on the main account. Beast. Yo, CEW with a 50 Canadian dollars over on YouTube Super Chat. Dude, thank you. Thank you, C. 500 W's for CC says, keep doing what you're doing. Some of these Trumpers are hopeless, but not all of them. Yeah, I think that definitely a lot of people that come up on the live and debate are hopeless. If I'm just being honest, that's how I feel. But I think that the reason I still talk to them is for the people watching, you know? Because although their positions are estranged, you know, they could typically, at least some of them can be related back to things that not hopeless people think or feel. Like Donald Trump's better for the economy. Donald Trump's better for foreign affairs. And like talking even to the hopeless MAGA can really serve as a good way to break through to some of the people watching that aren't. Drea, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat saying, Dean, bless you for dealing with these insane people. Love your lives. Thank you so much. Honestly, I kind of like it. Is that weird? I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I kind of do. Deal like just dunking on him, shitting on him, man. It's been like a fun skill that I've developed, and it's not even really like just debate know-how. I feel like what I like about it, it's like being really good at like roasting people. You know what I mean? It's one of the skills that's developed while I've been doing these lives. Like I feel like if they still did those Discord roast battles, I could hop on one of those and fucking cook. You know what I mean? But it's so immature. It's so immature. Okay, that's my immaturity speaking for me. Here's the deal. We get banned on the DNC Dean account for 24 hours. We're going to go ahead and hop on the main account, do some more debates for the rest of the day. I'm going to go ahead and switch the mic over now. You'll hear some lag. You will. You'll hear some lag. Sorry, not some lag. You won't be able to hear me for a little bit here. Just around like 5 seconds. Just enough time for me to kind of get plugged in to the phone. But before we do, I'm also going to go ahead and open up my YouTube on my computer, the Vimeo on the computer. And by the way, if you're watching and you want to support me, you can find the link to my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in the bio. Or just in the pinned message. Right there, check that out. Everything is computer? Yeah, dude. I appreciate you guys for the love today. Gonna buy a new computer with that shit. Hannah, thank you for the $4 and the 20 cents on PayPal. You're awesome. All right. We're gonna get logged in. I'm gonna go ahead and set it up so I can see the stream chat on my PC compared to my laptop. Then also everyone, yo, we have 3.7 thousand people in the stream, but we only have 762 likes. Dude, everybody like. Drop a like right now. Quite frankly. Live in the chat says, looks like being hateful doesn't pay off, does it, Dean? Bro, called the dude an idiot, slipped out, man. What do you want me to do about it? Brent, thank you for the $5 over on YouTube Super Chat. All right, we're going to go and plug the mic into the phone. You won't be able to hear me for 5 seconds. I'll be right back with you. And we're back. Look at that. And we're back, quite frankly. Sorry. We're back now. We're back now. Dude, wait, I fucked up my OBS. Now I see myself twice. What the hell? I don't know what's going on with OBS. Okay, whatever. We're just going to deal with it. Okay, guys. We're going to go live on the main account at It's Dean for debates for the rest of the day. If everyone just will give us a moment. But yo! Oh my God! NIY with the $100 super chat over on YouTube. Holy crap, NIY. Dude, everybody, show some love to Nye down below in the comment section for the $100 super chat. That is so incredibly kind of you. Bro, dude, you guys are so kind. I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that. That is literally so kind. I love you. I love all of you. You guys are awesome. You guys are so fucking cool. The coolest people ever. Thank you, Nye. Nye says. Thank you for making the world a better place. I really appreciate you for the love, Nye. You're so incredibly kind. Thank you so much, Nye. Ben with the $5 as well. Thank you, Ben. What do you think about my protest sign idea? Uncle Sam hates you. Base protest sign idea. You get it, Ben. Lindsay with the $10. Thank you. Dean, keep doing the good work and schooling these MAGA folks. Oh, I'll never stop, quite frankly. It's my DNA. I must. Then also Nick with the $5. Maisie with the 10 pounds. Thank you. Brent with the $5. Allie with a 3. Oscar with the £5. You guys are all awesome. All right, we're going to go ahead and hit the live over on TikTok on the main account at It's Dean right now. Oh, jeez. I really enjoy streaming off the computer so much more. I do. I think I even get more viewers on the main account, but I just enjoy streaming off the computer so much more. So I'll always go on the DNC Dean account first. Yo, what is going on to the first 100 people joining in on the TikTok stream? It is so good to see you all. So for those of you that were just watching us over on the @DNC Dean account, we got banned. I called somebody an IDIOT, and TikTok didn't like it. Harassment and bullying, and they got me. It slipped out, man. I knew better. It just came out. I mean, sorry guys. But anyways, we're gonna go and do debates for the rest of the day over on here at It's Dean. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the debates as soon as we have Trump supporters that are hopping in those requests. For everybody watching, I'd really appreciate it if you guys would just hop to double tapping away in that phone screen and sharing this live out with a handful of friends, as those things will just generally promote a larger live with more people tuning in, more virality. It's showing up on more For You pages of more people. That is awesome. That is what we need. F1, thank you for the 10 SEK over there in YouTube Super Chat. Appreciate it. And that's what we need to kind of get the MAGA crazies off of the For You page to come in here and debate. But all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and start locking in on the guest requests right now. If you're in the queue, make sure you voted for Trump. Y'all already know. And let's get those first guests of the day up in here as we speak. Here we go, you guys. What is going on, Ben? Did you vote for Trump? Actually, Ben's not loaded in. Garrett, did you vote for Trump?
Yup.
Garrett, how old are you, man?
19.
19. Perfect. Why'd you do it? Why'd you vote for Trump?
Well, first of all, my parents are Republicans, and second of all, I agree on his border policies.
Oh, you agree with his border policies. So do you think that his border policies will reduce undocumented migration in the long term?
They have.
They
okay. have.
So name one of Donald Trump's border policies that will reduce undocumented migration into America in the long term.
Let me search it. I'm right next to my computer.
Oh, jeez. You hit that Google, bro. Honestly, I'd recommend ChatGPT. You know what? Why don't we go ahead and bring up a friend for you to debate with? So, you know, that you could be Googling, you could be getting that source, the other person could be debating me, you know, a little 2-on-1 action. What's up, Maisie? Did you vote for Trump?
Hello. No, I didn't. I love you so much, though. Please come to the UK.
Please come to the UK. I've never been to Europe. I really do want to go, though. We're going to get the next guest up in here right now. I do appreciate you for the love, but we are just looking for people to debate. Guys, if you're MAGA, go ahead and just spam MAGA double in that chat. I'll get you up here to debate because we need to get Garrett.
I found it.
Oh, sweet. Okay, Garrett. We're just going to go and leave it with you. Go ahead.
The United States/Mexico border policy.
Okay, so you took, like, what is that, 3 minutes?
Don't laugh at me, you
I'm going to laugh at
dumbass.
you. Big man. Yeah. Okay, anything else? Okay, anyways, I'm going to go back to laughing at you. And the reason I'm laughing at you is for this reason. So I asked you to name one of Donald Trump's long-term border solutions that would reduce undocumented migration in the long term. You then take 3 minutes to Google, and you just come back to me by saying southern
But the
border
thing is,
policy.
the border crossings have dropped significantly.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, because of what? Short-term solutions. I'm asking you for a long-term solution.
That is long term.
Okay. How?
Well, first of all, under the Biden administration, roughly,
Wait, I gotta
I guess,
ask you real quick. What time is it for you?
5:20, 5:30,
What
5:30,
state are you in?
Texas
Okay, I think
morning.
some of Texas is CST. What's the capital of Texas?
Austin.
Chat, real quick. Is Austin the capital of Texas?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Another thing I wanted to say is I know that Texas is next to Colorado, and you're from Colorado, right?
I am.
Yeah, and you're bitch boy from being from Colorado.
Were you the same person that just like came up on my live when I started my stream and you don't really have arguments? You just want to call me a
No,
bitch?
I don't know who the hell you are.
Oh, you are the same guy.
No, I don't know who you are.
Okay. We're going to move on to the next guest.
You're a
Everyone
bitch.
just,
You're a bitch boy.
I know, you're emotionally unstable. I get it. Anything else?
You're a
Garrett?
circumcised little Jew.
Okay. We're going to kick him. Moving on to the next guest. Apologize for whatever the hell that is. MAGA is just insane today. Hey, JV, appreciate you for the $5 Canadian. We're going to move on to the next guest. What's up, Bagel Boy? Did you vote for Trump?
Hello, hello.
Hey, man. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. What'd you do? What'd you vote for Trump?
Okay, so I don't know. I'm just give you a little bit of insight on me. So I'm a first generation. My dad's Honduran. He came from Honduras. He's an immigrant, and I think me and you are around the same age. So this is my first election, probably like yours. And yeah, I mean, I have a lot of liberal values. Like I'm pro-choice, and I'm pro-immigration. But I think during the last election, I was seeing a lot of your lives and Harry's lives, and I think I literally found you so insufferable that I decided I would rather cancel out your vote and vote for a registered sex offender than give you any like platform to vote. And I was in a swing state, so my vote mattered more in the long run. So I just figured, I like really don't like you, or like
You're about to
you're just
leave, right?
like-
Like, I'm guessing you're not going to stick around to see
No,
what I have to
if
say
you want to
response.
stick around and chat, we can. But like, that's my reasoning. So if you want to debate me on it,
Yeah, sure.
That's-
I mean, I think like my response is less of a debate and more of just like you're in dire need of touching some grass, getting a girlfriend, or sorry. Getting
oh,
a
well, I did
partner,
touch grass
and-
because I had to go there to the ballot office to vote.
Just give me a moment. I don't want you to interrupt me. I think that you really need to probably get a partner in your life, talk to your parents more, get some friends, touch some grass. Even if we were to assume that like Donald Trump was an infinitely better candidate than Kamala Harris, if the only reason you voted for him was because you didn't really like this 20-year-old on the internet, holy fucking shit, you need to touch grass. Like you said that we're around the same age, maybe you're 21, bro. Like go to the bar with a couple boys. You know what I mean? Like if I made you get up out of your fucking smelly, dusty ass bed in your mother's basement, okay, take a shower for the first time in a month and a half, go outside, drive your car down to the voters booth and sign off and take that little name with Donald J. Trump just because you were really annoyed by me. Holy shit, dude. Chronically online. That's my response to you. And that's coming from somebody that streams on the internet in his studio for 4 hours a day. So, yeah.
Hey, I'm back in. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say like, yeah, you can say whatever, like, touch grass, blah blah blah. Heard it before, but I was thinking, babe. I'm not spending nearly as much time invested in this, and it's like all that time you spent debating these really really dumb Trump supporters, it's all been a waste of your life because he still won. Because you.
Oh, I don't think it was a waste of my life at all.
I think it was because I think you made me lose faith in the party that I support because you and people like Harry got bitches and he's a fucking freak.
Okay, so you voted for Trump because you don't like Dean and Harry's a freak.
Nah, I don't really care about Harry. I think I was watching a specific live video.
I'm just trying to nail down your reasons here so I could cogently respond to them. So
Yeah.
so you voted for Trump because you don't like Dean. So
I voted for
what is
Trump.
our what? Tell me what don't you like about me that made you vote for?
Yeah,
the
I
rapist?
thought you. I think I watched it live, and it's like you're arguing with these like pea brains, but you're like such like a pick me boy, and it's like
what is
ugh.
a pick me boy, man?
It's like you just want like you get the validation in the chat. You're like
that's
chat,
crazy.
come on. And it's like you call me chronically online, but it's like I don't rely on
because
the
people
validation.
because people like what I have to say and listen to it and spam W Dean in the chat sometimes when I make a good point. I feel like you honestly, if you want my honest evaluation, you're jealous.
Dude.
Yeah, because
No.
you literally just told me that you dislike me so much that you voted for the Grapist because people support and like what I have to say. You're jealous that people don't support and like what you have to say.
No, but it doesn't really matter. I don't really care about what the people-
I mean, you could have came up with significantly better reasons why you didn't like me. Like maybe you said like, oh, I don't really like you, Dean, because you interrupt people sometimes. Maybe I don't like you, Dean, because you're condescending sometimes. Maybe I don't like you, Dean, because of all of these reasons. Like maybe you think I'm racist. Maybe like, I don't know. You know, like you could have found so many different angles to say that you don't like me because of like some fact or attribute of my character. But instead, you're saying that you don't like me because people in the chat validate what I have to say.
Okay,
You're
listen.
you're just jealous that people don't validate what you have to say. And honestly,
No, people
quite
do.
frankly, one moment, I understand why people don't validate what you got to say. If you're saying that you voted for the Grapist out of jealousy for a random fucking 20-year-old on the internet from Colorado that you've never met a day in your life, I get it. I wouldn't validate what you had to say either. Come on.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, like Charlie Kirk. I don't like Charlie Kirk at all, right? And I see him yapping about Trump. And it's like, I don't care how educated you are. You look like a freak. Why would I listen to you? You're the same way. Like, you're not bad looking. I mean, you could get like braces for the bottom half, but I don't think you're a bad looking guy. You're pretty likable. You have some charisma. But it's just like, like the attitude is just like snarky. It's a little insufferable. And I'm like, it's just like, I can't handle it, man. It's like, do I really want to validate this man's like nerdy ass opinion when I can just vote for the rapist?
Wait, I have a question. Who's more insufferable, me or the Grapist?
He's funnier than you. You're not that funny. You're well educated, but you're not very funny at all. I think Trump is way funnier than you.
Okay, so I'm more insufferable than Trump?
I think he's funnier than you, yeah. He's more entertaining.
Okay, then how come he has like 4 ex-wives? I mean, if he's not that much of an insufferable guy, I mean, what the fuck happened there?
Because he got money, bro, and they want his money.
Oh, wait, no. I think the fact that Donald Trump has money and 4 women still decide to leave him, I think that speaks louder than words. They're married to a fucking billionaire, okay? They're married to a fucking billionaire. They have access to any material thing that they could ever want, ever conceived of, ever in any human mind at any point in history, ever. And they're still like, I'm going to up and leave this guy because of how absolutely insufferable he is. Come on. Come on. Only thing funny about Trump is funny looking. He needs to lay off that spray tan. You know
Well, that's
what I
the
mean?
thing, bro. He's
You know what I
ugly, so
mean?
obviously they wouldn't stay with him. They can still get entitled to his money without having to fuck him for 20 years. I mean, I wouldn't, like, come on, man.
Bro, what are you even saying? All that I was asking you is who's more insufferable, me or Trump? Then now all of a sudden we're talking about Trump's ex-wives. I mean, I brought up his ex-wives because I think that demonstrates how fucking insufferable he is.
Well, no, I was just going to say to you, though, I think you're more insufferable in a sense of, like, okay, Trump, at least, like, no, because now I have to defend Trump. Are you kidding me? But Trump is just the less...
Wait 1 second. Marla, thank you for the £2 over on YouTube Super Chat. Brent, thank you so much for the $3 as well. Trezzy with a 5, then Dillos with a 10. Thank you for the love, Dilios. Thank you so much for the love. Also,
Jason,
Dilios, one moment, shut up. Dilios, I do see your question there. I'm going to make sure that I answer that later.
You're going to mute me.
'cause
If you hate
that
me,
is a good
mute
one.
me. Shut the fuck up.
You want me to mute you? Okay, I'll make you shut the fuck up. There you go. Delios, I will answer your question later. But I do appreciate you for the $10. JV with the $5 Canadian, Marla with the £5, and Kayla with $5 as well. I appreciate that. If you're watching live right now and you do want to support me, you can find my Venmo as well as my PayPal down below in the link tree in the bio over here on TikTok, or if you're watching on YouTube in the pinned message, where you could also support me over Super Chat like Marla just did with the £2. I appreciate that so much. All right, go ahead, man. I think he's trying to get under my skin and it's just simply not working.
I'm not trying to upset you at all. I wouldn't be having... If I was trying to get under your skin, I wouldn't have such a back and forth. I would just interrupt you or, you know how that goes.
I mean, you just interrupted me and I demonstrated how it doesn't get under my skin because I just forcefully put the binky in your mouth. I mean, I treat you like a toddler.
Well, no, yeah, I was letting you make the effort rather than,
So you don't have any like legitimate critiques of me? You're more so just like kind of like a disgruntled, jealous fan, quote unquote.
Do you want me to get... I mean, I'm not much of a fan. I think...
You're not
do you
a
want me to
fan?
get
You're on my life. You waited in the queue just to come up here and talk to me, big boy.
Cork told me to. Cork told me to.
Somebody else told you? Yeah.
Yeah, I can get them in.
Yeah, my dog ate my homework in third
I can
grade,
have
too.
them in and vouch, but it's unnecessary.
My dog ate my homework in third grade too. Yeah.
Can you stop, dude? Can you stop? But listen, yeah, no, I think if you wanted me to go general critiques, general actual critiques, I think you kind of hinder your like, not your credibility, because I think you're somewhat credible, but I feel like it's like you're arguing like the bottom of the bottom, and they're like so dumb, like, and you're like so snarky about it. It's like, bro,
What does that tell me about you?
Huh?
Am I arguing the bottom of the bottom right now, or are you special?
No, I'm special, bro. I'm a special case, bro.
Wait, real quick, chat. This guy's special.
What do you want? See, validation from the chat. That's like that made me like you less.
I'm not getting validation from the chat. I'm just asking the chat to make an argument.
You're asking the chat for validation.
No,
which is
wait. Oh,
kinda
wait on
pathetic.
what? No. Me asking the chat for validation would be me calling you not special, and then saying chat back me up. I never said you're not special. I'm asking the chat.
Okay, Dean.
No validation here. Okay, I never said anything about how special, not special you were. I just, look for the chat.
Okay, Dean.
Seems like the chat doesn't think you're special.
Okay, Dean, you're a smart guy. Let's have a like. I want your opinion. Do you think I'm special in a positive, non? Like what kind of?
No, I don't. I don't. I don't think that. I don't think that you're special. Yo, Winnie, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for the love. Oh,
hold on.
Oh, Winnie.
Wait.
Go ahead. Bro, okay. I see a lot of people using that as an opportunity to call him special ed. Don't do that.
See what I mean, Dean? That's what I'm saying. I don't think I'm that kind of special. I think I'm
No,
like,
I'm saying don't.
nuanced-
I'm telling my chat not to do that. Not to do that. It's
nuanced
weird.
youth. What was I gonna say? No, I will say in your defense though, I like you significantly more than I like Parker. Because when I watched you debate Charlie,
Okay, I like my live significantly more without you on it than with you on it. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Here we go. Everyone, just give us a minute. Hey, what's going on? KKL, did you vote for Trump?
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
You can hear me?
Yeah, did you vote for Trump?
Okay. Bagel Boy is my boyfriend. Like actually. Like you can check my page. He's my boyfriend, okay? He only doesn't like you because I like you. I'm so sorry for his behavior. I literally talk about you all day. Like, I love you so much. You're so handsome, and I'm so jealous of if you have a girlfriend or not. But like, he's I'm so sorry.
Okay. Cut that shit out. No, because I do have a girlfriend, and I don't say that weird shit. But if you're telling the truth, I want that's your boyfriend. I want to get him back up on the live real quick. Yo, Bagel Boy, hop in the queue in the next 5 seconds here. If Bagel Boy doesn't join, unfortunately, I'm gonna dump you.
He might have stopped watching.
Oh,
Okay,
he is.
well-
He is in the queue. Wait, we gotta see this is. We gotta see this is. Hello, Bagel Boy. Is this,
hey, it feels like now we're in couples counseling.
Bagel Boy, is this your girlfriend?
Yeah, this is my Cork.
I'm Corey. That's my Discord name. That's what he knows me as. We met on Discord.
Yeah, we're Discord kittens.
Oh my God! Wait, this is insane. What is going on?
Basically,
This is either like the most elaborate troll that has ever happened.
No.
In my life. So
No, it's not a troll at all.
Let me clarify. This is either the most elaborate troll that has ever occurred on my live, or the most pathetic thing that has ever occurred on my live.
Hey, man.
Like no, it's either like the most elaborate scripted troll of all time, or just like the most pathetic occurrence in the.
Baby,
like,
hold me back. Baby, hold me back. Baby, hold
I
me
got
back.
you. I got you, baby.
Okay, no, they're trolling. They're trolling. We're gonna move on to the next guest. That was the most elaborate. Oh man, you know what? I'll give points for like creativity. I will give points for creativity. That is the most elaborate troll that I've ever seen in my life. What is up, buddy? Did you vote for Trump?
I sure did.
Buddy, you are very far away from your phone. I can barely hear you.
Yeah, I voted for Trump.
Come a little bit closer.
Yeah, I voted for Trump.
There you go, buddy. Buddy, how you doing today? Let's set politics aside here for a minute. How's your
What's up,
Saturday?
Playboy?
Buddy, just one moment. Set politics aside. How's your Saturday going?
Shit, I'm making this bread, baby.
You're making bread on a good Saturday? What do you do for work, buddy?
I I got about 3 or 4 businesses that a couple of them run themselves, a couple of them I have to run.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, well, let's get back into the politics because at the end of the day, that's what the people are here for, right? Why'd you vote for Trump?
Tariffs number 1. That's my go-to right there, bro.
Okay, why are tariffs your go-to? Tell us. Why do you like them?
Well, at the end of the day, they're good for the GDP. They create jobs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They provide employment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. Can you give me the points any slower?
Yes, I can.
Don't.
Okay. Well, you
Okay,
ask.
So you think they're good for the American economy? You think it grows the GDP? So then, how come the Atlanta Fed went from projecting 4% growth in the American GDP before Donald Trump's tariffs were announced to a 3% recess in the first financial quarter of 2025 after Donald Trump's tariffs were announced?
Because it's the first quarter of 2025.
Okay. What?
That's what you said, right?
Yeah, but they were projecting a 4% growth before Donald Trump announced his tariffs. When Donald Trump announces his tariffs, all of a sudden they're now projecting a 3% recess.
Yeah, for the quarter of 2025. They're not predicting for 2035 or 2045.
Okay, so you're saying...
And and your words are it's a projection.
Yeah, so are you saying that you expect GDP growth to slow down?
So
and
is a projection accurate, or is it just an estimate?
It's the most reliable model that we'd have to estimate what would occur in the future.
But you didn't answer my question. Pick one.
You said accurate or estimate. I think that estimates can be accurate.
Well, you still didn't pick one.
Well, because I don't think that they're mutually exclusive and you're providing me with a false dichotomy.
Oh, what? Sucks when people do it to you, don't it?
Well, it does, and I don't think I do to other people.
You want to pick one? Yep. For the third time, you want to pick one?
Once again,
Accurate or estimate?
So I'm telling you that I think that estimates can be accurate.
It's a projection. It's simply a projection.
Yeah.
So it's not accurate.
Okay, so
Go
are
ahead.
all projections inaccurate?
Are they accurate? Are all of them accurate?
I think that like projections can be accurate, and I think that this is one of them.
Okay. You think it? So, I mean,
Yeah, I do.
Just 'cause
I
you
do
think it
think
makes
because
it right?
because of evidence.
yeah.
Bro, why is there like some like girl all over your page?
That doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about.
Is that your daughter? Because
That doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking.
yeah, I don't want his daughter to get unwanted attention, so I'm just gonna kick him because I know that now everybody's gonna go be checking his page. Plus, he was weird as hell, so we're just gonna move on. Here we go, everyone. Just give us a minute. Winnie, thank you so much for the $20 again. And I read your message there. Yeah, I do appreciate you, Winnie. Please show some love to Winnie in that chat for the $20. It's very kind.
What? How you doing today?
Hey, what's going on? I'm doing all right, man. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I didn't. I just wanted to come on here and say I love what you're doing.
Hey, man, I appreciate you for the love. Everyone, show some love to them. That's very kind. That's very kind. All right, moving on. Everyone, give us a minute. Here we go. All right, phenomenal. Be patient. Angeline, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. I do really appreciate you for the love, Angeline, as well as JAR with the $2, Joseph with 5, and Hannah with a 4. You guys are all phenomenal, and I do really appreciate everybody's love and support today. What is going on? Jesus, did you vote for Trump?
Yo, I love you, Dean.
Your base, you're awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to the next guests. We got Maddie B loading up in. Yo, Heather! Heather, thank you so much for the $40 donation over on PayPal. That is so incredibly kind, Heather. That's going to go towards a PC. Thank you so much for the love. Everyone, please show some love to Heather down below in that chat. Thank you so much. So much love to Heather.
By the way, you look like if a helicopter and Donald Trump had a baby. You look like Andrea Pirlo, but you're white. You look like if Italia and fucking number 5 look like Donald Trump.
You're going to insult somebody. Make it make sense.
Fuck Kamala. Viva la Trump.
Why are Brits so fucking weird? Yo, can somebody translate that to American for me? Sorry, man. I only speak American, okay? we're not all Brits are weird. Not all Brits are weird. A lot of you guys are chill. A lot of y'all are chill. We got a lot of chill Brits in here, quite frankly. Hey, thank you so much for the $10 over on Vim. I do appreciate you for the love. What is up, Sonny? Did he vote for Trump?
Is it what kind?
Sonny is a literal fetus child. So we're gonna move on to the next guest. Everyone, just going to give us a minute. What's going on, Mason? Did you vote for Trump? We got Emma loading up into the box. Here we go. Hey, what's up? Did you vote for Trump? Oh, they left. Why is it so hard for us to get a debate today? I think that our FYP push is limited because, you know, we got a higher viewership on the account with like 100,000 followers compared to this account with almost 3 million. So we may have to hit a restart. What's up, 772? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, man, Trump's the man.
All right, what's up? What's that?
Bro, he brought down inflation real quick.
Oh, he did, really?
Yeah, in February it declined, and then it says it's declining. It was 1.5 at the beginning of March, man.
What did he do to bring down inflation?
He fucking reversed whatever Biden did.
Which was?
The American Rescue Plan, the fucking Build Back Better.
Wait,
that Green New Deal and all that.
The Green New Deal. The Green New Deal was never a piece of legislation passed under the Biden-Harris administration. Why are you lying?
Nah, it's the that fucking investment.
The infrastructure bill?
No, not that one, bro.
The
You're playing games.
I'm literally just trying to interpret what you're saying.
Bro, the one where he gave all those corporations tax credits for buying EV.
Listen, are you talking about the
Listen,
American
man,
Rescue Plan?
you're a hypocrite, man. You crying at Trump. He giving the rich tax cuts, and you crying. But when Biden does it, it's all good. You guys are hypocrites, man. Biden American Rescue Plan fueled inflation. Y'all, it's then you cry like, oh, you know, it's not Biden's fault all fucking year. He's lying about the deficit the whole fucking year, crying. He's saying, man, I brought it down 1.9 trillion the whole time. It's just COVID stimulus expiring, man. You guys are insane, bro. Fuck the Democrats. Oh yeah, and Harry W, man, you pissed at him because he's not gay for fucking Chris, man. You gay for Parker.
This is where you leave, right? Like you're gonna be a little beta male and run away.
No, man, I'm still here, man, because check it. Everything I said is true. American Rescue Plan fueled inflation. Biden had to go. You guys didn't Trump gave everyone a tax cut. What did Biden give?
Man,
He gave us inflation, bro.
I just want to ask
Trump
you.
gave everyone a tax cut. What did Biden give? Inflation.
Okay, phenomenal. Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes, brother.
How many branches of government are there?
Bro, don't look at this guy, bro. Just because look at this shit, man. Oh, look at him. He's a little narcissist, man. Him and Harry, bro, little narcissist, bro. If shit don't play his way, man, he ain't gonna
Weren't you
answer.
just
Did
saying
the American Rescue Plan fuel inflation?
Weren't you just saying W Harry 5 seconds ago?
Bro, fucking W Harry, man, all day
But
long, bro.
you just said that Harry's a fucking narcissist?
Bro,
Dude, make
Trump-
up your mind.
Dude, because he is just
my
like Trump,
God.
and I fuck with Trump, so therefore I fuck with Harry. What do you not understand?
There, you a troll.
What'd you say?
Are you trolling?
No, I'm not trolling, bro. I just told you everything. American Rescue Plan fueled inflation.
Okay.
You didn't have shit
All right.
to say back.
Sure,
Dude was lying
sure,
about
sure,
the fucking
sure, sure.
COVID.
I'm gonna go ahead.
stimulus
I'm gonna
expiring.
go ahead and respond. I'm gonna go ahead and respond to that claim.
All right.
And then I'm gonna have you answer my question. So you
All right,
said
all
that the American Rescue Plan fueled inflation via government.
Yes, man.
expenditure.
Talk about that.
I will if you don't interrupt me. So you're saying that the American Rescue Plan fueled inflation via government expenditure. Here's the thing. Donald Trump spent significantly more money.
He just starts deflecting to Trump, bro. I'm talking about Biden, bro. Shut the fuck up, bro. That's how you do shit all the time. What aboutism, bro? What about Trump did this?
So 772.
No, shut the fuck up, and you answer why. It's the fact. Biden's American Rescue Plan fueled inflation.
Can you
So
go
that's
ahead,
what happened,
Can you go ahead and allow me to finish speaking?
bro. But if you gonna deflect to Trump, that it doesn't make any sense, bro. It's not a good
It's
conversation.
not a deflection. If you allow, you don't know what I'm gonna say next.
You know what, man? You seem very
Kelvin,
civil.
thank
I
you so much for the
apologize.
$5 on PayPal.
Yo, stop tipping this kid, bro. He lives off that. Like all your simps giving you $10, you make a lot of money, man. I'm jealous of that.
So I do live off of the donations that people send me, like Kelvin with the $5. And
Dude, that's insane.
And Laderick with the $5 on YouTube Super Chat.
Yo, but that's like Aiden Ross and all that, so I can't hate.
Well, I mean, so like
Everybody does it.
actually everybody that donates to me, the way that they do it is they go to the link tree in my bio if they're on TikTok and they just click on the Venmo or the PayPal, and then it like loads up in their Venmo or PayPal app, and then they could just like send them an amount with a message and their name, and I could shout them out. Then also like for the people watching over on the YouTube stream, they just kind of look at the Venmo and the PayPal and the pinned message or in the bio or through YouTube Super Chat, and that pisses you off.
I'm sorry.
And that pisses you off.
Nah, man, it's just
No,
I
no,
took
no,
it
no.
back,
I mean,
bro.
I
I
mean,
took
you,
it back.
you
Remember,
told him,
I
you
took
told
it
him,
back
you
at the
told
end.
him
I
to
was like,
stop
hey,
donating to me.
Mark does
I mean, how do you feel about like Giant Rat with the $10 super chat over on YouTube? Thank you so much for the love. Yo, can I get a big W Giant Rat from you?
Yo, but also fucking Trump gave us tax cuts, man.
Wait,
That's
wait,
why I
wait,
voted
wait,
for
wait.
him again.
Before we talk about Trump's tax cuts, can you say W Giant Rat?
Bro, W giant rat all day long.
Wait, but you just told me that you told people to stop sending in donations.
No, bro, keep sending them money. I'm sorry, bro. Take
Oh,
that
with the
back, bro. You
$5
gotta
over on
live,
them, I
bro. You
appreciate
gotta
you for the
live.
love. Oh.
You gotta live, bro. You gotta pay the rent and stuff.
Bro,
You know,
this
keep
guy's
sending
all over
money.
the fucking place. Nicole with the $10
Fuck you,
over on
man.
PayPal saying, how dare I tip you? I hope it pisses him off more. Dude, he's like so in between and just all over. He's so confused.
Bro,
that it's just
Trump gave
whatever.
us a tax cut and Biden gave us inflation. I just told you. That's why Trump is good for America and Biden sucks.
Okay, all right. We're going to go and respond to the claim. So first and foremost, you're saying that Biden was bad for inflation. Yo, Ben, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. Because it is the case that his policy was very expensive. So here's the thing. If you think that government expenditure causes inflation, you should have voted for Kamala Harris compared to Trump, since Donald Trump was worse for government expenditure. Not only in his first term did he spend twice as much as the Biden-Harris administration, but his policy in this term was significantly more expensive than every bill that Kamala Harris had to offer. So if you care about
Which one of
inflation
his
and you want to bring it
policies
down, you should have voted for Kamala
fueled
Harris.
inflation?
Sure. Under the first term, the biggest, fuel of the fire would be the $1.9 trillion TCJA, which was tax cuts were $1 trillion of that was spent on the top 1%, which equated to no new growth in government revenue.
GDP grew, and inflation decreased. Why is it decreasing then?
Okay.
Or
so-
why did it decrease in 2019, 2020?
Okay. Tax cuts always cause inflation.
Yeah, but why didn't they? Why did it decrease
did.
inflation
They
and,
did.
and increase GDP?
So the tax cuts did cause inflation. There's just more disinflationary pressures than inflationary pressures. And then B, how much did it increase the GDP per year by?
Whatever it was, it was a plus growth. That's all that matters.
Okay, so 0.02%, which equated to around $20 billion. So are you okay with spending $1.9 trillion for a $20 billion per year return?
Well, wasn't it a $10 trillion net spend over the next 10 years? Or is $4 trillion or something like that? According to
So under his for the first
CRFPD?
7 years, it was $1.9 trillion for a $20 billion yield on the GDP per year, and then a $6 billion yield in government revenue.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right?
that's a very bad investment, right?
Yo, but at the end of the day, his presidency impacted the middle class and the lower class. Like, we all seen a tax cut. Whether it was about
So
investment.
you
or
think
not.
that cutting taxes for low-income Americans is good, right? Any American making under $395,000 per year will actually be disadvantaged, and those specifically in lower income brackets will be disadvantaged the most.
Well, is that a new tax policy?
So it's basically like the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that was passed under his first administration, but revised a lot.
But he promised to extend those same provisions.
I mean, he promised to extend them with some modifications, and that's what he's done.
So he's
That's
going to
what he wants
extend
to
them,
do.
but he's actually not going to extend the lower and the middle class ones, because if they expire, then that would be the increase.
Well, the
is what you're
increase
saying.
is by the tariffs. So tariffs cause inflation. It hurts you proportionately more the less money you make.
So you're not even talking about an actual tax policy. You're just talking about the tariff
I'm
plan.
talking about
actually-
I'm talking about his economic policy as a whole.
Real, but I was talking about tax policy, and you said his
I know,
new
but we
one-
also need to consider the economic policy to see what the average purchasing power of an American in the lower middle class would be following the implementation of all of his economic policy. And the fact of the matter is, it's worse when we consider the impact of all of his economic policy.
But is that the same, like that chart? I seen that same graph that you're talking about, where it's talking about an increase. Is that with TCJ already implemented, right?
Yeah, it's considering all of his economic policy. It's saying, well, what happens if he re-implements the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act and implements his blanket tariffs? Well, then anybody making under $395,000 per year will be worse off.
But it's not really even, or it is a
Yo,
tax
Reggie, get
increase.
up here. Reggie, get up here. Reggie is joining. Yo, 772. I'm gonna
Yo,
go
what
ahead
up,
and just
Reggie?
put you aside for a moment. Reggie, you
Hey,
just
no worries, man.
You said that I'm a paid DNC propagandist.
I said mouth, actually.
DNC mouth. So why do you think I'm a paid DNC mouth?
Seeing you on a list of the people that they paid to come out and spew all this bullshit.
Kim, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. I do really appreciate you so much for the love. Are you talking about the list by that guy on Twitter?
Are you denying that they're paying you?
Yes, I am. Are you talking about the list from that guy on Twitter?
It's everywhere. I've seen it on TikTok. I've seen it on
Yeah,
I've seen it on every app.
Yeah. How do you know that's a list of influencers paid by the DNC? Because
I-
like somebody
I'm
said so.
scrolling and I see you literally sitting here doing it
Wait, because I'm debating Trump supporters, that means that I'm paid by the DNC?
because you're
Where's the
literally
logic in
sitting
that?
here listing off their talking points.
Brent, thank you so
You
much for
go-
the $10 over on Venmo. Well, I'm listing off the truth
You
that
go
I can to
live.
with the use of objective fact and reason. So if you're going to say
Right
that the
when
talking
all
points
the
of the
rest of
DNC,
the DNC mouths come on and you say the exact same thing as all the rest of them at the same time, right after they send out the checks.
Lauren, thank you for the $5 on Venmo from the DNC. I do appreciate you for the love. Hey, man, is that my check right there from Lauren? Lauren at the DNC? Could you say thank you, Lauren? Thank you, DNC. But anyways, I just want to let you know that this is completely conspiracy theory. You're saying because I come on here every single day and argue for truth, that must mean that I'm paid by the DNC. Good to know that that the DNC stands for virtue and truth, right? But no, I'm not paid by the DNC, and you don't have any evidence that I am. You have absolutely no evidence that I'm paid by the DNC, apart from a fucking Google chart that was posted on Twitter with absolutely no evidence to justify that those individuals were paid by the DNC. And it's funny because a lot of people on that list aren't even fucking political. Why would the DNC be paying people that post fucking fashion content? Come on.
We know that they pay you influencers. I
do you know
don't
that?
know why you want to sit here and lie like that.
I mean, how do you know that? Give me the evidence. I want you to lay out the evidence point by point.
No, I'm not here to do your work for you.
Well, I
No,
mean,
thank you.
you haven't done the work for yourself, or else you tell me the evidence. It's not okay to believe in things without
I
evidence.
already know that they're paying you.
But you quote unquote know that because it's a speculative, nonsensical conspiracy theory that you implement to discount the words that come out of my mouth because you can't
Are you
continue
getting
with facts
paid?
and reason. No, I'm not getting paid by
Are
the
you
DNC.
So you don't have any endorsement deals?
Yeah, I have no endorsement deals from the DNC whatsoever.
It says paid live right here.
It says paid live fucking nowhere. What kind of lie was that? Did you just magically forget that there's like another 6,000 people in the room? Why are you the only person that says that sees the paid live? Kay, thank you so much for the $5 donation over on YouTube Super Chat. Dude, he thought that he was the only person in here. He forgot that there's another 6K people in here, man. That's crazy, Red. What kind of lie
Literally
was that?
looking at here, you got your PayPal in here, your Venmo in here, all the shit in here, so the DNC can fucking pay you, and you want to sit here and lie.
Wait, the DNC doesn't pay me through those pay links. Individuals like Heather does. Like Heather Smith
individuals
just donated me
like
$10 on
Kamala?
Venmo. No, Heather just donated me $10 through Venmo saying from the DNC. Then also Gigi just donated me $5 and Lucilia with $5 and then Lauren with $5. These are
It says
grassroots
from the
donors.
DNC. It says from the DNC on your payment.
No, it says from Heather, Gigi, and Lucilia. These are private grassroots
You
donors.
just said from the DNC.
Oh, but they were okay. So Gigi did say paying you from the DNC fund, but that's obviously a joke.
Oh, now it's a joke.
Dude, no way. So Gigi's with the DNC? Fuck.
I
you
don't know
got
who
me.
is she. Do you know who she is?
Fuck, you got me. Dude, you got me. All the DNC payments are now coming in. All the DNC payments are now coming in. Yo, the negative commenter, I appreciate you so much for the $5 over on YouTube Super Chat saying, here's the money from the DNC. Was that from the DNC too?
If it says here's the money from the DNC,
it must be.
Are you an Elon hater?
I do not like Elon, no.
Have you? Are you just saying that now because the DNC told you to, or have you always been that way? Because you guys were for renewable energy, you were for electric vehicles. This was all your idea.
Ooh. So I don't dislike Elon because of any of the companies that he runs. I dislike Elon because of the political activism that he's engaged in since buying X. Yo, Sid! Thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. And also how he's treated his daughter and throwing the Nazi salute and supporting the AfD. Gigi, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Sid, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat saying from the DNC, not a joke. How do you feel about that? Sid just donated $20 from the DNC and it wasn't a joke at all.
I think all of these people are wasting their money just like they're wasting their money when they give it to the DNC. But that's up to them. I don't care.
Can I get a W, Sid, from you?
Yo, what's up? The DNC told me to show up. How's everyone doing?
Parker was
The
number
DNC
3 on the list. I swear to God, Parker was number 3 on the list. I swear
Parker
on
wasn't
everything.
Number 3 on what list?
Parker wasn't on the
On
list.
the list of paid TikTokers from the
We
DNC.
should have peaked. Thank you for the $5 over on YouTube Super Chat saying
who
here's
made
another
this
DNC
list?
payment. And then Corey with the $5 over on Venmo saying in the honor of
I
Red G,
don't know
thank
who
you.
made it.
Wait. Corey just donated me $5 on Venmo saying from Red G. Does that mean that you just paid me $5 because the donation says so?
Yes, and you owe me that.
Oh wait,
money back
Jesse with a $10 on Venmo from Red G. Dude, you've sent me $15. Holy shit, dude! Thank you for the money.
Yeah, I expect a full refund.
Wait, why did you send it to me if you just want it back?
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake. How come you made the mistake
Identity
twice?
theft.
Wait, no,
Parker,
seriously,
does the DNC pay you? Be honest.
No, I would be honest. I
Did
would
you
be
see
totally
the
honest.
list? Don't act like I'm making this
What
shit up.
list?
Did you
I
see
actually
the
don't
list?
know what I don't know what list.
No,
you're
I'm
referencing.
familiar with the list. Some guy posted a random list of like 100 influencers on Twitter. It was like the same guy that said like we had like a private meeting with Harry and like had posted like it's a crazy guy. It's a crazy guy that doesn't care about
I didn't
facts and
see
just
a
posted
meeting with
and just
Harry.
like posts like misinformation for fun.
The fact that you believe that is very sad.
All I
yeah.
did was ask him. I was asking
Yo,
questions. Now,
oh,
he
the
just told me
$2 on
10
Venmo
times
from
he's been paid
Reggie.
by the DNC now, so now it's kind of hard to combat it.
Well, apparently
You're
I've also
totally
been paid by you.
trolling. You're
What?
totally trolling, dude.
I'm not
Like-
getting paid, but nobody's paying me. I got 23 coins. When TikTok takes his cut, that's like 12 cents.
Yo,
I don't even know
Jenna!
if that'd
Wait,
be
wait,
12
wait. I
cents.
need you to explain this one because Jenna just donated me $10 over on YouTube Super Chat from Reggie and the DNC. Does that mean that you're paying me from the DNC?
Yes, but now I'm
So you
gonna
work with
need
the
a
DNC?
double
Yes.
refund.
So you work with the
I wanna need a
DNC?
double refund.
You work with the DNC.
I think.
Nicole,
I
thank you
think
so much for the
all of
DNC
you
monthly
leftists,
monthly
you
subscription.
need to save
Heather,
your money.
thank you for the $10 on
and put it
Venmo. Another
towards
from Reggie.
winning.
Thank you
You
so much
guys
for the love,
lost
Heather.
the judiciary. You lost the House.
Oh,
you lost the
John with a
Senate, you lost the
$20
White
over on
House,
YouTube Super Chat says
and
this guy
now
talks
you're
about a list sounds like
paying
insufferable.
these kids
For real,
on
John.
TikTok because this is your best hope. Honestly,
Red,
I wish
John
one
and
Red,
of
I'm
you
so,
guys
I'm
would
sorry,
run.
but you have no clue.
I wish one of you guys would run, honestly, because it's kind of embarrassing your candidates. Please don't do the old white guy, black woman thing again. Don't do Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Don't just stop it.
Can Republicans stop doing the two old white guys?
I would like to see it, but I don't see it coming anytime soon.
Why not?
I just don't know who it would be. Who would it be?
Well, why not? I'm just asking, like, why not in the Republican Party?
Tanya, thank you for the $10
Because
over on
who's
YouTube
gonna
Super
be?
Chat for
I
owning
think
MAGA.
they'll probably run DeSantis. We'll
They
probably
will be
see
chasing the astronauts.
Vance. I don't think we're gonna see. I just don't see anybody up there. That's gonna happen for it. So and another thing is they actually listen to the constituents. That's something maybe the DNC could write that down.
I'm sorry.
Maybe
Name one
don't-
time. Name
don't
one time
pick the chick with
Republicans. Hold up.
zero-
Name one time Republicans listen to the constituents.
Then also,
Trump.
Brent, thank you for the $10
Multiple
over on
times.
YouTube Super Chat.
Name one time.
Thank you, Brent.
Trump right now.
What
No,
is he- what
like
is he
give me an
doing?
example.
Yeah.
Right now, Donald Trump. Everybody wanted Donald Trump. They didn't want to put him on top of the ticket. The constituents spoke. They put him on top of the ticket. Just write it down. Just write it down. When next time they send you a payment, just be like, "Hey guys, maybe you
Maxim
could
with the
pick
$5 on
somebody
PayPal.
with some votes in the
Dean,
primary."
as well.
Dean, this makes me lose faith in
we could
humanity.
Pick
Do
somebody
you wanna-
I
do you wanna-
can
who's
genuinely
ever
can't believe
gotten
that
a
this
vote.
person
Do you want to
is
hear what the other guy
In
has
the
to say?
primary.
No, 772 is
Yeah.
also pretty bad. 772 is also pretty bad. Welcome back,
Yo,
772.
I didn't say anything that was bad, man. You didn't even, you put this guy up. You just saying how you're fucking paid by the DNC the whole time. At least I had some stuff to talk about.
Do you
You know,
agree with him?
inflation. You know, the deficit, and then
Do you
well,
agree with
nothing.
him?
I'm giving them real fucking shit so they can stop losing
Yo,
everything.
who cares, man? If they're propagandas, that's their lives.
You think we're propagandists, bro? Come
You
on.
are propagandists. What do you mean?
What makes you think that, man? Come on.
You tell me you're for renewable energy. This guy makes the biggest renewable fucking energy car company that there is. The main thing combating all the shit that you want, and now you guys are blowing the shit up like idiots.
Listen, Red, I'm
Right?
going to give you my honest thoughts on that. So first of all, I actually condemn people that are like vandalizing Teslas. I just don't think that is the adequate or appropriate way to go about political political disagreement and or political protest. I also don't think it's very aesthetic, and I think it will push people away from the left. So I want to make that clear. But what I'd also like to say here is that the reasons why I don't like Elon. It has very little to do with the companies that he runs outside of Twitter. I disagree with Twitter.
You like the companies,
just
right?
just allow me
The
me
companies
to,
are pretty great.
allow me to speak real quick. Like I think like the scientists over at SpaceX are doing good things. I'm not gonna lie, and I'd be lying if I said anything other than that. I think that like launching like what is it, like the internet where we're getting like 200 megabytes down in the middle of a fucking forest from space is fucking awesome. I think like the great minds behind his internet services are they're very intelligent people that are genuinely doing some great forms of innovation. And I do think Starlink, yeah. And then like Tesla, like reinvented electric vehicles and helped propel America into an era where there's much more of a preface on EVs. Okay, and I'll say that I will. The reasons why I disagree with Elon Musk are very little to do with his companies, apart from X. X is a shithole, but all to do with the fact that he is alienated and ostracized and treats his daughter like shit, disrespecting her gender identity, saying that she was consumed by the woke mob, and then you know, like absolutely ostracizing all of his other children apart from his young son, using him as a fucking human shield at public events, while then also like shit talking everybody known to mankind that disagrees with him politically, paying people in swing states literal fucking money to vote for what he wants. And then also like putting like millions and millions and millions of dollars behind the worst presidential campaign we've had for the American people on the global stage in modern American history. I think that he's a terrible person.
You think he paid Kamala Harris?
No, I think he paid Donald Trump.
But Donald Trump won.
Red G, can you
Dude,
tell
but
me?
Biden gave him all them tax credits.
Can either of you give me?
I just want to make it clear that there's no such thing as gender identity. You guys are making that
Dude,
up.
Biden gave.
Really?
Biden
I have a
gave
question.
Elon Musk
Red.
all types of
Can I
tax
ask
credits.
him a question? Red, I have a question. You said there's no such thing as gender identity.
Yeah, you're making it up.
Are you not a man?
No,
I'm a man.
No, you're not a man.
Identity that
I am.
He's not a man. Okay.
Yo, he's not a man.
No such thing as that.
He just said that he's not a man.
There's
Yeah.
male and female, and you guys don't get
So
to play.
men and women
which
don't
one you
exist. Wait,
are.
so can I at least hear the statement that men and women don't exist?
You're trying to
Can you
put
say that real quick?
with
Can you tell me that men and women don't exist?
Men that are women don't exist. How about that?
No, men and women, do they not exist? Because
Listen.
gender identity doesn't exist?
Bro,
As
who
much
the
as
hell
I- as
cares?
much
Bro,
as I
talking
would
about
love
some
to
nonsense.
see
Dude,
you
how did
play
this guy
fucking
just like
gender
accidentally
hopscotch.
swing? Dude, horseshoe theory. So far, right? He just swung left. Base, dude. You're saying like, you know,
Gender abolition.
You've just become a gender abolitionist. You know, there's no such thing as prescriptive gender roles. It's all bullshit. It doesn't exist. You know, so far, right? You swung left.
You're really
Craziness.
good at this, man. You're really good. I'm gonna give you a follow. You're pretty good, man. I'm not gonna lie. You're pretty good. You're decent. Better than Parker. Parker, you're shit, dude. You gotta get better. Take some notes. Take some
Wait,
notes.
what
This
makes you
guy's
think that
good.
I'm shit, but Dean's good?
I mean, he conceded to some points. He likes Elon's
what?
companies. He loves Elon's companies. He loves Tesla. He loves SpaceX. He loves Starlink. He just thinks the guy's a shitty,
I want to
shitty
clarify.
person,
I said that like
I could agree with that.
I want to
It's
clarify.
okay.
I think that like the products of Tesla inspired like a new age of EV vehicles in America. I think
That's not Elon Musk.
And I think that like Starlink and the scientists behind Starlink have provided internet to individuals in areas where they haven't been able to get internet prior. And like in the 21st century, access to internet is a human right. And I think that like
They helped
the
in
great
Ukraine.
minds at his companies have done great things. I don't necessarily think that's Elon Musk himself. And I gave you my critiques of Elon Musk. It has very little to do with the companies that he runs outside of Twitter. I don't critique Elon Musk. I don't think he's a bad person because he owns Tesla. I don't think he's a bad person because he owns SpaceX. I don't think he's a bad person because he owns Starlink. And like I've kind of like I will glaze the minds at those companies. But the reasons why I don't like him is completely because of his political affiliations and how he served to regress our country and the world in such a negative
Who
direction.
cares if you save the world? You were mean to this person who identifies as some bullshit. I get it.
Wait. You literally have Donald Trump saying that he won't let AP News into the Oval Office to hear certain things because they didn't call the Gulf of America the Gulf of America. Instead, they called it Gulf of Mexico.
Where
so
is
why
it?
the hell do we have to like, all right,
Where is it?
validate the identity of water, but not human beings?
Where is it, Parker?
The Gulf of Mexico?
Yeah, where is it?
It's like between like
Is it
Mexico
surrounded
and the United States.
by America?
It's in the Gulf of Mexico and the United States.
Is it surrounded? Is Mexico part of America?
Like North America, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go, Parker. It's pretty simple. Pretty
But
simple stuff.
Why can't it be the Gulf of Mexico?
Because it's
Because you
surrounded by
care more
America.
about the identity of water than human fucking
Yeah,
beings.
wait, are you trying to get Parker to respect the identity of the water?
Yeah, seriously,
I
dude.
think Parker needs to accept that it goes by
Are
golf
you-
in
are-
America now.
Wait.
Respect
Oh,
his pro
self
now.
ID. Oh, okay.
It's a Trump ID.
Okay. Yeah. So it's okay when you guys do it.
It's registered.
So it's
Emily, thank
okay
you
when
so
you
much
do
for
it?
the $10
Yes.
over on Vim. I do appreciate you for the love, Emily. And then also Reagan with the $10 over on Super Chat. Brent with the $10. And oh my God, wait. My computer's lagging out. Everybody watching me on YouTube is gonna be lagging here. And we're back. Sage, thank you for the $20 super chat over on YouTube. Says some money to buy new brain cells after talking to this guy. Thank you for the love, Sage.
I don't
for the $20.
think you'll be able to. I don't think you'll be able to afford all the ones that you've lost.
Real. And then also Gallon with a $20 super chat as
guy's
well.
getting a lot of
Saying the
fucking
Gulf of
money,
America
man.
was
Some
named
little
before
kids
the
and shit,
U.S. was
too.
colonized. Named in 1550.
Right, Parker?
Good point. Yo, Gallon and
Yeah.
Sage,
Yo,
thank you guys
Parker.
both so much. Yo, Red and 772, would you both say
Yo,
thank
Parker.
you, Gallon? Thank you, Sage?
No, why the fuck would I say that?
Because
What do
they
you want to know?
donated to me.
722.
He donated to you, so I should say thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Say thank you.
Show some fucking respect.
Fuck no.
Okay. All right. 772. What's up?
Yo, let me jump in real quick. Yo, Dean, the whole time he's attacking Elon Musk's character and stuff, but you guys do not hold that same standard when it comes to your politicians like Joe Biden,
Yes, I
who is
do.
accused of SA, and you guys did not say a word.
By Tara Reid, right?
What?
Okay, well, first, I think it's fucking
Yes,
funny.
well, it doesn't matter, bro. He had like 5 allegations
Nothing
of like
funny about
weird
that.
No, he
touching
didn't.
and whatnot. Yes, he did. Look it
Oh,
up.
wait. Of weird touching. Yes.
So I just want to.
Like,
Yeah, he's a sexualized so you guys do not care about women.
We're
Like-
gonna
like
start
hugging
off.
too much.
We're gonna start off with a very simple question to see if your argument holds any water before I entertain it. Do you think that Donald Trump is a rapist?
Dude, Trump definitely, bro. And he's a pig too, man.
So you do think he's a rapist?
Yes, and Biden is just like him, bro.
Oh,
and you
okay,
don't even
okay,
care.
okay.
You're a
So then
hypocrite.
your argument does hold some water because you recognize that about Trump. So here's my response about Biden. Okay, so it is a case that he was accused of rape by Tara Reid, right? However, I dispute the validity of the claim, and I do think it's false because in the court proceedings, she had multiple contradictions within her story. She was actually dropped as a client by her lawyer because the lawyer saw those contradictions in her story and thought that she was lying. And then after that, she then fled to fucking Russia and joined an alt-right misinformation campaign. And for those reasons, I discredit Tara Reid's accusation.
Is it all right and misinformation because Biden is having the Supreme Court and multiple different social media agencies lie on his behalf and take down other people's information? Is that the reason that
Like
you
what?
believe
What
that it's
information did? Wait, what
misinformation?
information did Biden
Well,
have to
we've
take
heard
down?
from Zuckerberg that the White House.
So like
take
vaccine
down accounts.
disinformation. They asked Facebook to take down vaccine disinformation.
So anyway, is that the reason that we believe that she's joined a misinformation campus? Because
No, those
we're
2 points
taking
have nothing to
Biden's
do
word
with
for
one
it?
another. I mean, you're just pivoting.
Well, I'm talking
Bobby, feel-
about your limitation. Of
Feel
free
free
speech
to
and the
feel free
way
to
that-
pivot, but it
the
is pivoting.
inhumane way that the left has been treating other people, including people driving Teslas, destroying their properly.
Wait.
rated people,
How did
harming
MAGA
others.
supporters treat our democracy, right? Our literal
What
capital.
democracy?
democracy
The cops on
chose
January
Trump,
6th.
bro.
Where are you
Democracy
getting
chose
democracy
Trump.
from?
What's up?
Where are you getting democracy from?
Trump's
This
on
is
word
a
of mouth.
constitutional republic.
Wait, we're not only a representative democracy, but we're also a constitutional republic. So
Where are you getting
saying
that
that we're a
from?
constitutional republic does not mean
I'm
that it's not a
asking you a
representative
question,
democracy.
Parker.
By the
Where are you
definition of a
getting that
representative
from?
democracy.
Where are you getting the democracy from? Where are you getting
The
it
definition of
The definition,
So-
right? Like you can operate on any definition you'd like.
The definition of representative democracy would be applicable to the governmental structure of America. But I'd prefer to use a little bit more of a silly argument. I think we're democracy because Trump said so. At a rally in Maine, I believe, he said that he took a bullet for this great democracy.
So
Bro,
this
isn't
is a
democracy the fucking
constitutional
power to
republic.
vote?
We have a constitution. It's a republic.
so Trump was
Wait.
wrong?
So you disagree with Trump? He's wrong?
Yes.
Bro, democracy
Oh
is
my
the power
gosh,
to vote,
yo,
man.
Dean.
It's the power of the
Dean,
people. What the hell's Reddit
Totally
talking about?
great argument.
I know, right? Yo, I'm sorry, man. I'm a Trump cultist. Everything that he says goes. You disagree with Trump, therefore you're a crazy
All right.
communist
So then there's
leftist.
no such thing as
You crazy
gender
communists on the
identity,
live.
then.
Can
We
we stop
agree.
these communists on the live?
Yeah, stop these communists on the live. Yo, Anna, thank you for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. 500 W.
Dude,
Anna's down
Democrats are
below.
cult members too, man. They vote blue no matter who.
Yo,
Hold
E
on,
from Donald Trump,
wait,
thank you for the $10 on
wait.
YouTube Super Chat. Thank you.
I just want to read this off real quick. Anna with a $50 says, "Hey Dean, it's my birthday today, and I wanted this to be a thank you from me to you for everything you do to set the record straight with racism and human rights in America. You are amazing, Anna. Thank you for the incredibly kind message on top of the incredibly kind donation. And I want everybody watching right now to wish the happiest of happy birthdays to Anna right now. Thank you
Happy
so
birthday,
much.
Anna. Can we
Christian
can we
the Dragon,
sing?
thank
Can
you.
we sing?
Let's sing it.
Sing happy birthday to Anna right now.
Let's do it.
What is going on?
All right, let's get it.
Redden772, do it.
You guys need to start it off because I don't know how white people sing happy birthday.
Whoa, what the? All right.
I don't know how y'all do it.
Happy birthday to
Do you? Oh, you guys do it though. Yeah, I can't. No, I can't. No. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Anna, by the way.
to Anna. There you go.
Happy birthday.
Can I get a cha 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 something, bro? This is just it's so dry.
Cha cha cha.
There we go.
Okay. All right. Well, happy birthday.
All right. So, do you actually disagree with Trump's policies, or are you just mouthpieces, or how does this work?
Yeah, I disagree.
Are we?
with Trump's
Are we
policies.
just? Yes, we do disagree with Donald Trump. What?
Which policy do you disagree with?
Which policy? Yeah. For example, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. I disagree with that. I disagree with Donald Trump's policy on tariffs. I disagree with Donald Trump's policy on immigration. I disagree with Donald Trump's policy on practically everything. So let's go over it.
Crazy. And you're a leftist?
No, I'm a social democrat.
Friend, I'm an independent.
Like Obama?
What's up?
Do you like Obama?
Dude, Obama was a fucking worst fucking Cajun kids.
I think
I was
that
asking.
Obama is better than Republicans, but
Obama is the worst, man. He caged kids, man. He like doubled the debt, man. Nah.
I'm trying to figure out what's different from
NSA
Trump and Obama, and
expansion.
I just see a whole bunch of the same policies, and you guys being fuck.
We got banned. We got a 10-minute ban for guest violation, hate speech, and hateful behaviors. Yo, sorry. Parker called me. I just had to answer there for a second. He's going to call me on Discord, so I'm going to go ahead and switch my mic over to the computer. Give me a second. All right. There we go. There we go, chat. All right. We're going to go ahead and get in a little bit of a Discord call with Parker here. You could hear it going off on my phone. It's just going to keep ringing so I could boot Discord up on the computer. Sorry, Parker. I'm leaving him to dry. Discord's taking a while to open. Oh, shit. Where's Discord? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Yo, what's up, Parker?
do you hear me?
Yeah, and the stream can hear you as well.
Perfect, perfect. Same thing on my end. I have the stream open. Yeah, dude, it is so unfortunate. We are getting banned so much. What was it for?
Yeah, it was just a 10-minute for guest violations, hate speech, and hateful behaviors. I will say, though, a restart was needed anyways, so I actually don't mind. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal because I wanted to restart nonetheless. However, we did get a ban on the DNC Dean account, and it was actually like the final ban. It was the account warning ban, so that is no fun.
Oh no!
I know, so I'm gonna
We
see what
gotta
I can
figure out how to
do.
deal with this. What can we do? Because my account is fucked too.
I know,
My
bro.
account is on account ban warning as well, so I don't know what we can do.
It's because they ban us. It's because they ban us for guest violations, and it's stupid, dude. We're
Yeah, like
just-
what can we do?
I don't know. I don't
I'm
know.
surprised you still have the live access on that DNC Dean account, like for the live studio.
I know, dude. I love it. I'd say that we should probably talk in private about that, because I think there's a couple things that I could do, but you know, probably want to talk about it privately. You know.
Yeah, I'm down to. I'm down to.
Based. Wait, the account warning went away on the DNC Dean account, even though the appeal did not get approved. Crazy work.
Okay, well.
Oh, you know what it
but
was?
still says account ban warning.
No, it doesn't. It went away. I think it's because I got hit with like a week ban to start, and then it didn't get approved, but it did get revised to a day ban. So we got to keep the account. Quite frankly, for the 3,000 people in here on YouTube right now, I appreciate you so much for being here. You guys are awesome. You guys are all really, really, really cool. Okay, all right. Yeah. By the way, oh wait. Did I get a second ban? A second? No, it was the same ban. Okay. All right, that's fine. Unfortunate,
All
you
right,
guys.
well.
Yeah, it looks like we got another 7 minutes. So,
Yeah, dude, my
frankly.
my what's it called? My band for or my account for the Parker Rise Concepts of a job. Every time I go live, gets like 6 to 8% live recommendation. Do you think I should just make a new account?
Yeah, man. Make a new account. Get one to blow up. I mean, I feel like I am having pretty
What's
good.
up? You cut out.
I'm having pretty good push on all the accounts I have access to right now. Apart from the main account, it's like it requires singular restart. By the way, for everybody watching, we just have 6 more minutes before we could go back on live, so we're just kind of hanging out in the meantime. You should start telling people to move here when TikTok drops. I do it every so often. I should do it more frequently though, just so more people know. I'm gonna tune this guitar.
Let me see if I can get this live. It says I can go live. Oh, I gotta confirm the age on this account.
It's probably just worth waiting the 10 minutes because we only have 6 more minutes.
Oh, it definitely is. I was just gonna do this anyway.
Awesome.
I gotta actually go down to my year. What's up, everyone on YouTube? Do make sure to like the stream if you haven't already. We're gonna start getting some debates here in a second. Just TikTok's been banning us a lot recently. We need to, honestly, maybe we should just get some debates. Facial age estimation. Let's try that.
Ah! I'm relearning an old song. It's been a while. Been a while since I've touched the guitar.
Come on, give me the old enough age. Age confirmed? Let's go. I look old enough now. Okay, wait, it doesn't give me. Yeah, I gotta go live for 3 separate days. That's the issue, dude. In order for any account to work, I gotta go live for 3 separate days. I'm watching both lives right now, based. Start having people use Discord to talk. Yeah, I could, but you don't get the same types of debates, I guess. Maisie, think of the £5. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. We will sometime. Everyone on this account.
Got another 4 minutes.
Dean, my in order to be able to build up the accounts, you have to do 3 separate lives.
Yeah, I know. You got to do 30 minutes, 30 minutes in total on 3 separate days, and then you get unrestricted FYP push and guest access. And by the way, I just want to reiterate for everybody hanging out, we're just chilling and doing nothing for another 4 minutes before we get account access back on the main account. So I just decided to pick up the guitar.
Maybe I should just try my girlfriend's account again.
What's that one Alex G song? I think I forget it.
Yeah, I think I'll try that because I already did like 1 day, so I only have 1 more day I need to wait.
It's been so long since I've played. Like honestly, I'm not as rusty as I thought I'd be. I'm still kind of killing it.
Mm-hmm. All right, I can go into my girlfriend's account.
Yo, Godzilla, thank you for the $5 over on YouTube Super Chat. By the way, guys, 3 minutes until we get back. 3 minutes until we get back. Quite frankly. Does anybody know Sick Shit? It's like Together Pangea.
Give it a second, everyone.
It's
We're gonna
better
get the
on,
debates going here very
electric.
soon.
Better on electric. Okay, guys, 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Quite frankly. 2 more
Quite
minutes.
frankly, it's very soon. Debates will be here very soon.
Pangea, Pretend by Alex G. Dude, I used to know all the Alex G songs. Also, like, Tyler Childers. Dude, I fucking love Tyler Childers.
All right, I'm going live on the Parker Got a GF account, so I can.
Really?
Yeah, so I can get the. I have 1 day down already, So I can go live. If I go live tomorrow, I'll get guest access.
Oh, based. So I think like all you need to do is like literally just go live and then end it. Like just do a 1 minute live, so then you have a day clocked.
Well, because what's it called? I need 30 minutes, so I can probably get a few minutes today.
Okay, are you gonna do that right now?
Yeah. I mean, just while we wait. There's definitely more push on this account than there was on the other one.
Okay.
And we can also build up our followers. That'd be great.
Base. Well, I'm gonna be on my main account in 1 minute. Next
All right,
minute
for
or two.
sure. And then I'll just join that.
All right. Yeah. Feel free.
Right away.
Feel free.
You're not Marge. Yes, I am not Marge.
All right.
But this could be the account we go live on here soon, very soon. It could be.
All right, Parker.
It could be an account.
I'll see you in a minute.
You're gonna be on the account right now.
Yeah, I'll see you in a
All right,
minute. I bet. Peace. Oh my god, stuttering so bad. I'm sorry. Yo, D, thank you so much for the $10 super chat saying, thank you for everything, Dean. We appreciate you so much. Do you do weddings? Asking for a friend. Funny story. I actually did have somebody very seriously reach out to me and ask if I could officiate their wedding. And they were dead ass. Like they were serious. They actually wanted me to officiate their wedding. Okay. We got like 1 more minute, maybe like under a minute at this point. What else do I don't know if I have much else that I remember, unfortunately. Dude, where's my capo? I don't even have my capo down here either. So I can't do the complex shit. Unfortunate, man. Oh no, I can't even do my, what did they call it? Bee boo ba da bee or whatever the fuck. I don't know. It's like a genre of music that I can't pronounce. I fucked it up. Boo. The artist? Oh wait, sorry. No, it's Bossa Nova. That's what it's called. Bossa Nova. I'm pretty sure just Bee Ba Boo Da Bee or whatever the fuck does a lot of Bossa Nova. Play piano. I love the piano. It's right behind me. I fuck it up on the piano. I do. And like, quite frankly. All right, guys. It's time for us to go live. Fuck, dude. Okay. I used to have Jersey Giant down, but now it's all fucked up. Let's see if I could do Jersey Giant. Ah! Anyways, we tried. I'm rusty. Okay, let's go live. Do some more debates. We just had a quick intermission for the guitar. I don't know what inspired me to pick that up and start playing, but I sure as hell had some fun. Okay. We're going to go ahead and switch the mic back to the phone. Woo! Okay. All right, everybody. We are so back. I understand that I'm quiet. I'll fix it. There we go. And it's fixed. Look at that. You know what? Hell yeah. Dude, okay. So before I started going live every day and doing this, my days consisted of playing instruments and working out. Low key, I had like a very like peaceful lifestyle before I got into politics. And sometimes I miss it. Sometimes I miss it. Oh shit, did you guys see my pajama pants? Yeah. Dude, I got the Calvin Klein pajama pants on. I am always wearing some pajama pants, by the way. I switch it up too. Like even when I was on MSNBC with the suit on top, I just had some pajama pants on the bottom. It's funny. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead hop into the debates. Nothing wrong with PJs. I mean, think about it from my perspective. I'm sitting in the same place for 4 hours a day. I want to be cozy, you know? All right. And also, like, I don't have that many, like, cool pants either. Andrew, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat, saying, thanks for restoring my faith in the next generation. Are all uninformed? It's been hard getting hope for the future. Isn't completely and totally effed. I think we'll be good. I think that the truth will come out on top. We just need the right people in the positions of power to make that happen. Hey, for everybody tuning back in on TikTok, welcome back into the stream, you guys. So we got taken down for a 10-minute ban. TikTok for that. But now we're going to go ahead and just hop right back into the debate. So if you're one of the first 300 people tuning in on TikTok, make sure that you are double tapping away on that phone screen and make sure that you're sharing this live out to a handful of friends, because we're going to go ahead and hop right back into the debates. But if you voted for Trump and you are tuning back in, go ahead and hop in that queue. And we're going to go ahead and pull you up here for a conversation. So let's get that underway. We already have quite a few people in that queue. We're going to go ahead and pull up that first guest. Kamala Harris cries. What is going on? Did you vote for Trump?
You know I did, Dean. You know I did all day, every day.
How old are you?
18 years of age.
Okay. I'm just going to be honest. Off the bat, you seem pretty cringe.
Why?
Why? Like, I don't know. Like, your name is like Kamala Harris cries. And then you're like, all day, every day, jump, 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 jump. But go ahead and break it down for us. Why'd you do it? Why'd you vote for Trump?
Because I don't think a woman can run the country.
Wow, man. You sound like 16. Your mother, that woman, still feeds you. Probably changes
Well,
your
she
diaper
shouldn't run the
too.
country either. That's irrelevant, Dean.
Okay. Well, let's just break it
Dean,
down.
how's your relationship with your mother, dude? How is that?
It's actually pretty
How?
good.
Yeah, now you smirk because you know damn well that isn't going good, is it? Right?
Bro, dude.
My relationship with my mom's doing wonderful, right? So don't try
Okay.
to bring that up in that conversation, right?
Damn, you got really sensitive the moment I mentioned your mom. Hey, real quick.
Well,
Why
I
are men
don't-
better?
no,
at-
I just-
why are
Right,
men better?
right, right.
Why are men better at leading than women?
Because they're smarter.
Okay, I mean, just on average, women have higher IQ, so that's false. Not to mention that.
Not according to Science Direct. Not really according. No.
Julia, thank you so much for the diamond. Wait, no, it is true. Like you're talking about the bell curve distribution, which is like just like alt-right fucking misinformation. But it says that there's more male geniuses and female geniuses, but there's also more male not geniuses and female not geniuses. So on average, women have a higher IQ than men. Not to mention that women also outperform men in the context of academics. So women get higher grades and more degrees. The most educated demographic of individuals in America today is Black women, and I think that shouldn't go unnoticed. Not to mention that women also outperform men within STEM-related fields. Female surgeons have better patient outcomes when compared to male surgeons, and that's a study done by the AMA on over 1.4 million patients. So, I mean, if you just want to choose a demographic of individuals predicated on their gender to be running a country based upon their wit, know-how, and emotional regulation, the obvious answer here would be women. So, if anything, your logic would lead you to the conclusion that women are better at leading than men.
Not just that, Dean. Also historically, right? We've seen some of the greatest things done for our listeners are done by men, right? We got freed from feudalism by men. There's not been like in the top 20 greatest revolutionaries of all time, men outcompete women far.
Yeah. Just
There's
real
only
quick.
one example. That's Joan of Arc, and she's right.
Yeah,
But most of the
real
great ones
quick.
are men.
Real quick. Name 3 bad decisions made in history.
The World War I thing, when that first thing was started with the assassination, that was very bad.
And what else?
Also, the decision where Africans sold each other to the British, that was very bad. Started like a really bad thing for Africa. Also, 9/11 was a pretty bad choice.
Okay.
What?
I have a question. Was it all men that did those things? I think that your second point was weird, but my point here is that all men.
So
Wait, did you say that
that?
9/11 was bad?
Yeah, he said a weird choice. What?
Yeah, it was a bad choice.
For men, you mean?
To do that was bad, yeah. What they did.
Has practically every atrocity been committed by men?
Yeah, sure, but then would you agree that men have more potential to do good than women, since
No.
we see them do most of the
No.
things?
Wait. Are you saying that like white people are better at inventing than black people? Because in the context of American history, there's been significantly more white inventors than black inventors. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, I know that the reason that is the case is because white individuals straight up stole black individuals' inventions, and they had much more opportunity to create, given like access to more wealth and resources. But would you say because there's more white inventors than black inventors in American history, that white people are better at inventing?
No, and I felt like
No,
you were
of
gonna
course.
say
Yeah.
that.
So just because a
Only, like-
demographic is more present.
Hold
within-
on, bro. Hold on. The thing is, biologically, there's the only difference is that the melanin production between black and white individuals. Like, that's the only difference, right?
So what are the
When it comes
biological
to
differences
women and
between men
men,
and women that make men better at leading?
they have bigger brains,
And
more
more
muscle
gray matter.
mass.
And more gray matter, meaning that the neurons in a woman's brain is more condensed.
Well, that means men have more
Well,
capacity.
operating more
to hold
efficiently.
storage.
No. They don't have more capacities. They have more gray matter in both the right and the left puttomy.
What's your source?
Wait, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know why you're trying to talk about intelligence as if like you would like rank highly on that statistic.
Oh, so you're just doing an at home?
No, I'm just saying that like I
Do
just
you
don't know
do
why
you
you're doing
think
that.
picking Harry Tyson as a friend is a good decision as well? Do you
What'd you
think
say?
that's? Do you think picking Harry as a good friend is like a smart decision?
Not a friend.
Yeah,
Not a
well,
friend
you guys,
anymore.
You seem to really pick bad friends a lot of the time. So like picking.
You voted for a rapist. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, hold on. The
You literally voted for a
hold on.
rapist.
Well, not. Well, do you know definitely that he did rape Jean Carroll? Did you know? Do you know that
Eugene
definitely?
Carroll. Can you tell me where it happened?
Wait,
It happened
wait, real quick. What
in
time
New
is
York,
it?
right?
What time is it?
I meant where? What store?
3 p.m.
3 p.m. What state are you in?
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
What?
Right now, it's 7:40.
What?
Not
Are
even
you
from
okay?
America.
Well, hold on.
Wait, I thought
hold
that
on.
men were supposed to be smart. How could you fuck up your time zone that bad?
Oh, I didn't learn the clock when I was younger.
Get the fuck off the live. Bye.
Still here.
Bye. 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 Later. Everyone, do tap that screen. Let's get up to 100,000 likes. Shared live as well. If you want to support Dean or I, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio. Everyone, you can also follow my new account that I just made here because I'm banned on literally every fucking account. So, what's up, everyone?
Hello, Parker hater. Do you hate Parker?
Do you see my name? My name is Donald. Okay.
Do you hate Donald? Bro,
Hey.
you're gonna
Hey,
make
Parker hater. Do you hate Donald?
you're gonna make your name Parker hater, and then you're not gonna say anything when you get up here.
Nothing.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. All right. Yeah. By the way, the live isn't pushing at all. Is it even like worth a restart?
Is it me? I don't think it is.
Holy
I don't know,
smokes!
maybe.
What's going on, ladies
This
and
guy's
gentlemen?
insane.
This guy is
It,
insane.
it could be me. You want to drop me and then I can just come back later?
Bro, it's okay. I don't have that much longer in my life, so I don't.
How much longer are you gone?
Like an hour, maybe under an hour.
Hey, I posted a video of you, Dean, and I took it down, but I'm reposting it tonight, Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock tonight. So stay tuned.
What's the video about?
Oh, you will have to wait and see, my friend. It's gonna be very.
Okay, I'll wait and see. Moving on to the next guest, we got Justin Time loading up into the box. Everybody just going to give us a minute. Here we go, y'all. What's going on,
I don't
Justin
get
Time? Can you vote
my
for Trump?
third account back to like 6
I did. I just had a quick question. I saw your conversation with Jared Taylor yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't really hear much with the mic moving, so I just wanted to hear what you were saying. If you could just reiterate something I couldn't find. I heard your questions inside, but I couldn't hear when you guys were outside what you were saying.
Yeah. Wait. When I was outside of like Jared Taylor's speech?
Yeah, but when he was standing next to you and people were like measuring you with like the height of the microphone and stuff.
Oh, are you talking about to the president of the university?
Oh, that was the president of the university. Oh, he looked just like Jared Taylor. What were you saying? Were you upset that he allowed Jared Taylor to speak there?
Yeah, I was upset with the justification that he used. I thought it was very like weak.
And even if it weren't the justification, do you think he has the right to go there and say what he said?
Do I think that Jared Taylor had the right to be on campus and say what he said with access to the university center? No.
Why not?
Why not? Because like nobody has a right to other people's resources, especially to spew white, like fucking white supremacy and advocate. For
No, of
racial
course not.
segregation.
But once he gets the, what I mean is once he gets
Wait.
the invite, does the student group
I
have the right to have him
I have
on?
a question. If you had the choice to determine whether or not the white supremacists could speak, would you choose to allow them to speak?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't invite him, but if an organization wants to invite someone, they can invite whoever they want.
I have a question. If you were the president of CMU and some 65-year-old guy from Alabama came on campus and started calling your black students the N-word, would you kick him off?
Of course.
Okay, why?
A direct attack on people and individuals through racial hatred is a hate crime. I would not allow hate.
Is pushing white supremacy not a hate crime?
Well, I want to be more specific than that.
I
because
watched
was
his,
there,
I
'cause
watched
was-
his speech. His speech didn't.
I want
crimes.
to be more specific than that because I was there watching his speech too. He straight up said that black people have no place in America. He says that racial segregation is a good thing. So do you think that advocating for racial segregationism would perpetuate real material harm against black people the same way calling a black individual the N-word would?
What he said was the same thing Trevor Noah says, which is that segregation is wrong, but the idea that full integration, that we pretend race isn't real and everyone just becomes, one.
Wait, he
is
never said,
also,
he said that segregation was good. I was there. I watched it. He said that white individuals should be segregated from black individuals should be segregated from Hispanic individuals, and Hispanic individuals should be segregated from Asian individuals. He said that inherently humans are simply just tribalists and we get along better with our family members.
said
and genetic
they shouldn't
relatives
be
of individuals of our
forced.
same race.
He said that he's against forced segregation, but that individuals should have the right to go into communities of their own race. If he wants to say that, that's his prerogative. I don't agree with it. I don't
Well,
think
do you
it's
think the
realistic.
prerogative of advocating for racial segregationism can lead to real material harm against marginalized communities such as black Americans?
I can, but the same argument
Okay,
could be made.
just about like calling a black student on the campus the N-word. Therefore, that's not free speech.
It's not
That's
the
hate
same
speech.
thing.
It is the same thing in the context of spewing
it's not the
racist
same
rhetoric
thing.
and
You're
ideas
smart enough
that
to
lead
know
to
it's
real
not the
material
same
harm.
thing.
No, I think it is.
Meow,
I
thank
think
you
it
for
is.
$2. Thank you, Meow.
I think that calling a student the
you're
N-word
so-
and advocating for racial segregationism, saying that the black students at CMU had no place on the campus, had no place in the city, had no place in the state, had no place in the country, right? Are
He didn't
both
say
two
that.
racist things that lead to the idea
didn't say
that lead to
that.
very similar real material harm. And he did.
Perhaps you were so ready to ask your questions at the end of his speech that he didn't listen to what he said, but he never said, "There's no place for blacks here. There's no place."
Let's not
He
call,
said,
let's
in
not
fact,
call, let's call black individuals black with an S at the end.
well, there's African American, there's black people in the United States that identify with, the black groups that they're from Jamaica, which is not in the African continent. So yeah, they're black.
I'm
We
saying
don't say you're-
I'm saying don't call black people black with an S at the end.
Oh, did I do that? Sorry. My apologies.
Yeah,
But still,
see what I mean? Everybody. Watch this guy prop up and defend the white supremacists, bro. He got shit on. I gave a really good point to the president that he couldn't respond to. Just like I'm giving that same really good point to you right now. I mean,
well,
it's-
if
it's a
you're
fact.
arguing that it's the same sort of legality, and implying that people should be able to self-segregate is the same as someone going to a campus and screaming at people raceful and hateful things.
So you're changing both what I asked and what he said. So I merely said a 65-year-old individual coming on campus from Alabama calling black students the N-word. I'd view that as leading to real material harm against marginalized students, the same way standing in front of a podium and trying to convince 45 people plus everybody listening online saying that black individuals have no space in that school, no place in America, races need to be segregated, and white individuals need to look out for their genetic family of other white individuals, and that it is the case that we are all tribalists and we hold close to these values that individuals held to for thousands of years, leads to real material harm against marginalized communities as well, and you cannot contest that.
Wait, you don't think it's true? You don't think human beings are tribal?
I think that
You don't think people have an
Not
innate
him
group?
trying to argue the same position.
Yeah, now you're trying to argue the same
Well,
position.
yes, me trying to argue the same position.
Oh, wait, do you agree with voluntary
don't dis-
segregation? Do you think that,
That
like
doesn't even
white
mean
individuals should have their own
anything. Yeah,
space
no.
and black individuals should have their own space too?
People should have their own space. If you want a gay space, have a gay space.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
want a
yeah,
straight space, have a
dude.
straight
You're just a
space.
literal. You're a fan. You're a fan of what Jared Taylor had to say. Of course, a fucking course.
No, I'm not a big fan of Jared Taylor's. I just thought that your questions weren't great.
Wait,
because you started talking about
Explain,
GDP.
explain to me why Jared Taylor was wrong.
I think that the idea that people will self-segregate and that that's something sustainable, given how urban developments currently stand in the United States, that people are going to go off into northern Idaho and start white cities, is just ridiculous.
Okay,
yeah,
so you
he's
don't
wrong.
agree ideologically with anything that he said. You just don't think that it's empirically possible.
Ideologically, well, he didn't say anything wrong. He said people are
Damn,
tribal.
that's
I agree with that.
crazy. That's
agree.
crazy. See what I mean, guys? Yeah. Wow. The one person
Why
coming
do you
after
act
defending Jared
fucking
Taylor does not
disgusting
ideologically
fuck?
agree
Why
with
do you
self-proclaimed
act- why do you-
supremacists.
Why do you act so like
Crazy
feminine?
word.
Why do you
What,
scream like that?
do you have an
can't
issue?
be-
Do you have
Oh
an
my
issue with
God.
being feminine?
Of course not. But when you're having a conversation about a
Wait, wait,
person
wait.
speaking at a
Wait,
campus,
wait. So I just want to clarify this. You just call me feminine because I raised my voice. Raising your voice is typically indicative of like less emotional regulation. What I did was actually masculine because it is the case.
see what
that-
you're doing
that men
right
have
now.
lower levels.
This
One
is what
moment.
I mean.
Is that men have lower levels of emotional regulation when controlled to women. So when I scream and I raise my voice, I'm actually just being a masculine alpha bro. But now if you're gonna say that me like explaining logically speaking how what you believe in is wrong and what the truth is with the use of reason and fact, if that's feminine, well maybe you're onto something because it is the case that women have both higher IQ and EQ scores on average and perform better in academics, which would be applied to critical thought such as what I'm engaging in right now. So you're off the first time you call me feminine, but you know I'll give you the second time. Facts, logic, reason. I mean, we typically see women engage in them more, so I'm okay with that.
See, like, I understand why Gavin Newsom and Harry Sisson are saying that this kind of behavior is toxic because that appeals to no one,
Oh
Dean.
my
You should know
God,
that.
you're
No, excuse
so
me, it
cringe.
appeals.
You're
Yeah,
so
yeah,
cringe.
yeah, yeah,
Shut
yeah,
the
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
up.
Your
Your
Shut the
audience-
fuck up. You're so cringe. You're so cringe. Being held to some level of fucking ethical standard is not like pushing people away in a
It's
negative
called
connotation.
purity spiraling.
Wait. I'm sorry. Do you think that there should be no standards on character?
There should be, but talking to a few
Oh, there
women
should be.
or
So you
the
saying that there should be
Latinx-
any? Hold on, listen. You saying there should be any standards on character? How is that any different from my position?
It's no different than your position,
Oh,
but
so
you
then
dropped
shut the
your
fuck
friend.
up with this
You
moral
dropped your
grandstanding because
Of
I have
course.
ethical fucking standards. Yes, absolutely, I have
You're
ethical
so
standards.
women-like. You won't let me talk.
I'm
But-
so. Not being women-like is not letting you talk. You're such a fucking misogynist, racist
It's
piece
not
of
a-
shit that you came on this
Well-
live stream, and what you decided to do is perpetuate bigotry, misinformation, and fucking insane bullshit, and then you try to wrap that into like this like literal right-wing democratic
No.
movement of not holding people
I
accountable
tried
to
to
ethical
ask-
standards.
I
How
tried
about you
to
get a
ask
fucking
whether
grip
you-
on reality,
I
pull your
tried
head
to
out of your
ask-
fucking ass, and
I
realize
tried to
we
ask
actually have
whether
to hold
Jared
people to
Taylor-
ethical standards, or society fucking fails. Okay, we hold people to
I
ethical
simply
standards
try to
because
ask
it's fucking
whether-
important because we need society to
Yeah.
function properly. And if we look up to people that don't meet these particular ethical standards and it negatively disenfranchises society, well, then we don't want that to happen. So that's why we have ethical standards.
I understand the nature of ethics in society. The whole question was about whether you thought this person should have the right to espouse his, in your view, hateful ideas and rhetoric.
Yeah,
at a
and you tried to
campus in
wrap
the
and you
United
tried to wrap
States.
it into like, oh, Democrats are so toxic because they have ethical standards on
Yeah.
people's character
Can I'll
because
just
you
say-
guys literally voted for a rapist.
I also
Sorry,
just want
go
to
for it.
point out
Let's-
something. I just want to point out something funny here. So I guess like when you call me feminine for like using facts to debunk your thoughts, that was appealing. But then when I flipped the fucking script and I was able to demonstrate how that's a bad thing for you,
You're
because
doing it right now,
demonstrates your
Dean.
toxic
Dean, you're doing it right now.
masculinity, that's not appealing. Yeah, man. I mean, whatever.
No, I'm just
basically,
saying there's a reason why.
I just
There's a
want to. I
reason.
just want to reduce your beliefs down to the bare bones of what they truly are. You're basically saying that toxic masculinity is appealing. Anything outside of toxic masculinity
not,
is not
though.
appealing.
You're lying.
And then on the same breath, you're gonna get all
Never
like,
said
like
that.
fucking pissy at Parker for interrupting you, but then I have to spam mute you to make sure that you don't interrupt me. What a hypocrite! This is so unappealing, man.
There's a reason why 20-year-old white guys in the U.S. are more right-wing than 75-year-olds. It's because of you. It's just because of your kind of vibe. It's what you and your supporters embody, like the 15-year-old girl with all the bullshit around her room, like that TikToker generation girl that no one stands and will get nowhere in life.
Bro, listen, just real quick. Make your argument about how I shift people further over to the left, but don't just be throwing like random disses at women and girls, bro. Like, holy shit. You can't say something without somehow hating on women. Like, dude, holy shit. What's your relationship like with your mother?
It's terrific. It's terrific. She's
Are you
not
sure?
involved in politics.
Are you
Yes,
sure?
it
I
is.
doubt it. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. You must have a terrible
I know
relationship with
yours
your
is
mother.
bad.
Because like unironically,
Mine didn't take.
one moment, unironically,
Doesn't take-
like, dude, take this opportunity to give me an argument while I'm pushing young men further to the right. But it's like then with the first breath out of your mouth to justify that, it's just like dissing on like 15-year-old girls. Like, holy fucking shit, man.
I'm just saying there's no base appeal to men in your content because of the way you talk and the way you like intellectualize everything and you give. And I have people to say this.
So
to you
men
all the
don't
time.
like it. Don't like things to be intellectualized. You fucking moron! What an absolute.
No, that's
what an
that's not what I
absolutely
said.
idiotic
Thank you for-
statement.
okay,
I'm
there
sorry.
you go,
Did you just say
interrupting
that
again.
men don't like things to
Hey,
be
Parker,
intellectualized?
Parker,
That was the
Parker, I
dumbest
heard-
statement that ever came out of your mouth ever.
Well, perhaps if you let me finish. Parker, I heard you once say you were very quiet in high school and in school. Perhaps you should return to your ways and be a little, pipe it down over there.
Well, the only one that's gonna be quiet here is you because you don't have a fucking platform. So sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up, and sit in your own place that you are right now because you're a literal incel on the internet.
Oh,
It's all doing for
yeah,
racism
there
and
he
misogyny, and has
cooking
no
me.
fucking place. Absolutely
Yeah,
no place for a
Parker,
platform in our
yeah.
society. Things like
That's
racism,
use that
misogyny
anger,
have no
Parker.
place for a platform in our society.
There we go, Parker. We're going in the right way. Use that anger. Don't be bitter. Be angry.
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
I'm stern with you. I'm sorry. I'm stern with you. You mistake
No,
that
you
for
have.
anger.
I'm proud. I'm love Parker. This
You
is
mistake.
growth.
You mistake being assertive with being angry.
Dude, you're making 500 coins. You're being angry. You're being a man. This
That's
is
not
what
assertive.
it's
That's
about.
called being assertive.
Exactly.
Wait, you
gotta
said
be
I'm
more
being a man.
assertive.
You said I'm being a man. Isn't that exactly what you said that I
Yes,
didn't do?
yes. I came up here. You got angry, and you actually turned. You stopped being, spurged out. I'm not gonna say.
Oh, you're just gonna
So
use a slur, dude.
okay. Well, guys,
That's like you and Andrew Wilson's favorite slur, dude.
I don't know who that is, but
Surprised.
I would never use sneers on TikTok live. I don't want to get Dean pulled. So anyway, yeah, there's no appeal.
I will say I could be much more appealing to young men. I think like when I turn 21, I'm gonna be more appealing to young men. I've had some plans in the work for how can I like bro out to an extent.
Dean's gonna broify?
That isn't like perpetuating like negative ideology to be like more like consumable by young men. Like I actually do consider that a lot. Like what is the right amount of bro to an extent where you're more appealing to young men without like engaging in like regressive ideals. You
And
know what I
also
mean?
how
Yeah, Parker was banned. Sorry, Parker. Just got banned. Dude. L TikTok for banning Parker. You know what I mean? Like I will say I actually do consider that quite a bit. You know, moment I turn 21, I think that a lot of doors are really gonna open for me to like bro out a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like who knows? Because I will say there is like a very large disconnect between like the average 20-year-old white guy and me. Okay? And like every time I go out, I talk to old friends, I go on university campuses. I think that going to CMU was like a huge point of recognition. Just like putting myself out in the general public. There's a huge fucking disconnect between me and the average 20-year-old white guy. And I think that some of that disconnect just falls down to like bad values. Okay, right? Like I think that the average 20-year-old white guy holds like really bad values that I don't hold to. And I could attribute a lot of that just like ignorance and lack of education on like critical matters. But then then we could like solve the bad values through critical thought and education. But then there's like also just like interests. You know what I mean? Like I feel like 20-year-old white guys are much more interested in partying, going out, hanging out with friends, you know what I mean? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the gym, getting drunk, watching sports. And I'm just like considering, like what is a way that I could purport the points that I'm making and purport myself in such a way that brings me ideologically closer to the average 20-year-old man without compromising a single value that I hold to be more appealing to young guys. You know what I mean? Welcome back, Parker.
Welcome back. I think we're appealing. I don't think that we were. I think that this issue existed prior to us, right? And like I don't think it's like a thing caused by us. That's like an insane take.
I don't know. I feel like saying that we're appealing as we could be to the average 20-year-old guy is not true. I just think that's empirically false.
Based upon my experience, I think the people we're typically appealing to are younger people.
But I'd say that we could be significantly more appealing to like younger men.
Yeah, we could be.
Yeah. And like I think that the question that I want to answer is how to be more appealing to younger men without compromising values. And I think if there's a way to answer that question, I think it should be explored. I really think it should be explored. And I think that we do need to like come to terms with that fact. And I think it's important too.
Yeah. Nick, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I just think we need to be in front of more people.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go to get the next guest up here. No, by the way, I want to say, like, for all of like the younger dudes watching the stream, you guys are awesome. You know what I mean? But like, if you're like a younger guy watching the stream appealed by the content. I feel like you know what I mean when I say that there's like a bunch of younger dudes that are automatically appealed.
Nick, I don't have like a specific album. I'm not like a person who goes by albums, I guess.
Bro, why is your name Putin?
Yeah, well, what the hell? Why is your name Vladimir Putin? Prob Russia, Trump 2024. Pro Russia, pro Putin, pro Trump. That's okay. They must be a troll.
I think the live's not pushing out at all. I may just end it here soon.
Dude. I think it's me.
Maybe. Parker.
Dude, all my accounts are restricted, Dean. Like TikTok hates me right now. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, TikTok is on your ass, man. Oh, you know what I learned? So you gotta automatically cut anybody off that says anything close to harassment or bullying, and you can't say like IDIOTMORON, anything like that. You just can't say any of it.
I got banned for sexual exploitation, gender-based violence.
Weird.
On my L Donald account.
Weird. But to kind of expand on like a last thought I had, I think I'm like gonna heavily reinvest back into getting into the gym. And I mean, I'll probably need like, I'd say around 2 to 3 months to kind of like get to like a stronger point again. And once I am, like, I see like maybe like a combination like gym content and political content. Other I don't know, man. I think it's important. Gym won't help, bro. Bro, gym helps.
I think we just need to talk to normies, bro. Like to typical people who are in other niches, right? Things like that. We go on podcasts. We do things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
We just need to engage with culture, pop culture. That's what it is. That's all. That's honestly all it is. And the Democrats have not done that.
I agree. You know, like I like to find a way to like engage in pop culture, be in the mainstream, without compromising one's values. That is what gotta do. What we gotta do. 110%. You know what I mean? Go on Hassan's podcast, Wolverine. Think of the Galaxy. I've been considering that. I was actually talking to the YouTube chat yesterday about it. I might as well just kind of re-ask you guys over here on TikTok while we have like an incredibly limited reach to see what y'all's thoughts are on that. So here's my thoughts.
I would assume TikTok is going to be more yes than YouTube was.
Yeah, likely. So here's my thoughts on that. I think that it'd be an opportunity. I mean, like this guy's talking to AOC, he's talking to Bernie, he's talking to Vivian, Elon Musk's daughter, probably like the most oriented in mainstream media from like left-leaning politics in the political sphere. Like obviously there's disagreements, and there's a lot of agreements. And I think that like going on the podcast would be like an opportunity to like celebrate agreements, advocate for more change societally speaking, to get people to sway more to the left, while also like in good faith addressing disagreements. And that could serve as very valuable. I just don't think that like isolating from figures such as Hassan is like a good decision at all for like the trajectory of the left. But I would agree, like if it were to occur, like probably have to talk about disagreements. Yeah, would I try Joe Rogan? Dude, I'd go on Joe Rogan's podcast in a fucking microsecond. Are you kidding me?
Joe Rogan would not have us on.
I know.
Honestly, Dean could get to a point. Joe Rogan would never have me on. I'm like, I don't think I'd ever get to that point.
Yeah.
Dean, that's a possibility. That would be an episode.
I mean, he hasn't invited anybody from like left-leaning politics on. That's just in like the
Bernie?
like like not in the politician sphere, but more in the influencer sphere.
Sure. Kyle Kalinske.
Who's Kyle Kalinske?
Kyle Kalinske is exactly like us.
I think he follows me on Twitter.
He is one of the reasons why I'm a liberal today.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure.
Especially like when I was conservative, he was one of the first people I started watching that was like left leaning.
How do you spell his name?
Kyle Kalinske, KULINSKI.
Secular Talk?
Yes, Secular Talk. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we follow each other on Twitter. Cool.
Yes. Yeah, Kyle's based, bro.
He went on Joe Rogan?
Mm-hmm.
When?
And he didn't like Joe Rogan when he went on because Joe didn't listen to him as much, but it was great. Like Kyle Kalinske did incredible. You should watch it.
Sabrina, thank you for the 14 Canadian dollars, and William with the 1. I appreciate you guys. William has a question. Give an example of somebody that appeals to young men. Honestly, like I think like what comes to my mind when I think of like who appeals to young men that I know of, I automatically just go to those like degen, like gym bros. You know what I mean? I feel like degen gym bros are like very appealing to young men, and like some of them aren't even degen. Like Sam Solik, for instance. I'm not like super aware of like anything like particularly bad that Sam Solik has done. And individuals like that.
I don't know anything about gym bros.
I know a little bit. Speed. Yeah. Speed appeals.
Speed's been on my lab before.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
Speed and Kai
I haven't
Cenat.
seen that.
I don't really feel like Speed and Kai Cenat have like a super big grip on like younger like 20-year-old guys. I feel like
I think it's like really young. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of go like younger than that. Like Sam Solik, I'd say like Sam Solik has a pretty good grip on like younger guys. And I don't think Sam Solik's that terrible. I mean, does anybody in here know like if like Sam Solik has like done anything like super bad? No. Sam is super chill and he seems left leaning to me. I mean, I don't want to assume his political ideologies, but dude, Sam's been killing it. No, he's an angel. You don't think he has? He's a good guy. Sam Solik is base. Yeah, bro. I mean, good on him for getting that IFBB Pro. That was great. David Lade, he used to have like a pretty big grip on younger guys. I feel like that was probably had a bigger grip on like 25-year-olds now. You know what I mean? He's not as big as he used to be, but he's still like an icon.
Someone said slushy noobs. We would have been able to meet them if that whatever podcast episode didn't get canceled.
Really?
Yeah, apparently they were going to go on that same one we were on.
Huh, crazy.
And it got canceled.
Crazy. It's wild. Wild. The Paul brothers? Yeah, the Paul brothers have some more influence on, over younger gens. I will say, like, a lot of people don't like them. I certainly don't. Somebody in the YouTube chat says Trin Twins and Togi. Yeah, no, for sure. Those are like the D-Gen gym bros, though. Dude.
I was like, yeah, you can go with the gym bros. I'm never going to be like a gym bro. It's never going to be me.
Dude, like, those are like the D-Gen gym bros. Like, Togi's whole shtick is like basically just doing whatever he wants whenever he wants. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's somebody in the chat that knows more about Togi. I know that I debated him. I know that he like randomly popped into the Nelk podcast. What is like Togi's whole shtick? Togi's whole shtick. All that I remember is that he like told me that he loves to use slurs.
Sean, think of $2. I actually know nothing about that, Sean.
I remember like he likes to gamble and lift. Yeah. Just gamble as he lives. Doesn't really care what he does. A lot of DRUGS as well. Yeah. Yeah. I think like that is like a bad example. I'm pretty sure he like told that to Toki's face too. Yeah. Michaela, thank you for the galaxy. I definitely do agree with like representation for the gym bros, like people like Sam Solik. But like the gym bros, they gotta go, bro. That is so toxic. That is so fucking toxic and bad for like the culture that like younger guys are being like indoctrinated into.
Yeah, I wish Charlie Kirk would fucking actually sit down and debate long term, because he's probably like the person with like the most sort of influence over the political side of young fucking conservative men.
Yeah, for sure.
Right now.
I mean, I think that like I will probably start like making my rounds and trying to get into as many conversations with as many people as possible in pop culture. And I feel like I'd be confident in doing that with like nearly anybody. Because if it's somebody in pop culture that like I really disagree with, that it's like bad beliefs. Well, I mean, I happen to be a political debater. I could debate them on the spot and, you know, refute any reason why those beliefs should be the case. And I feel like that's like the biggest critique of like, you know, getting into a space was like somebody that's like super right leaning, etc. and doing like a podcast, like Gavin Newsom, for instance, because you just couldn't critique Charlie that well because he doesn't have experience in the field of like political debate. But like because I do, I feel like I could nearly go into any space with like anybody in pop culture. And if like they're just a total piece of shit, it just turns into a debate. Then all of a sudden, like leaning left looks cool because the person that leans right, that is super big in like pop culture, just got shit on. You know what I mean? But I feel like there's also like a lot of things about me that I have to like kind of critique a little bit. Like I feel like I'd have to like step up the charisma, be a little bit more chill, and not as like abrasive or angry, etc. Just like a lot of charisma and a lot of chilling. Somebody in the YouTube chat says you gotta hit the anxiety pin while you do it, bro. Base, yeah, let's go, dude. Yeah,
W anxiety pen.
let's go.
Yeah, dude. All my accounts are cooked, Dean. All of them are cooked. I don't know what to do. Did I show you what happens when I click on the thing for account check? It literally like tells me there's like some restriction, and then I click on the restriction and it shows me nothing.
That's pretty fucking wild. Fuck TikTok for that. Yeah, that's crazy. I'll TikTok. A lot of people in the chat say, I like you how you are. You don't need to be more chill. I mean, like when I've been more chill in the past, I mean, it's really worked. Like the Jubilee episode, for instance, like the 1v25 that I did, I went into that saying, I'm going to be as chill as possible. And I mean, like what the outcome was. I mean, it was a pretty good video. But I feel like I definitely just got to step the charisma up. I feel like I actually do have like a decent amount of charisma, like on the TikTok streams and whatnot, because I'm really comfortable. I'm in my own house. My own studio is something that I'm used to. But like when I'm going on podcasts, like it could be really unfucking comfortable at times, you know? Like both times I went on like Steiny's pod, I was so uncomfortable. So I didn't look as chill. I wasn't speaking with as much charisma as I could have. And I feel like I need to bump that up, you know what I mean? A lot of pressure in those other places. The entire social media team. I mean, if I actually have been in touch with some strategists because I do think it's a question that needs at least to be considered. It's like, what do we need to do to get more people to sway to the left? Don't overthink. I mean, I think that, you know, it's a big question and it's really hard to answer. So I think it can lead to overthinking.
I think we're gonna be fine.
I don't know, dude.
Dean, dude, I just have a good feeling we're gonna be fine.
Bro,
I think in 1 month's time we should come back and have the same conversation.
Here's what I'm saying though. Like CNN just put out recent polling. You know, like only like 29% of America supports the Democratic Party. I think just saying it's gonna be fine is like, unironically a cope.
Dude, that's again, you're looking at numbers that don't reflect like what we're doing. In terms of what we can do, we're already doing like the right things. What we need is the integration within the context of like the larger Democratic Party, the politicians, to integrate with our social media. So we can only do so much. Like, think about it. Like, genuinely, what could we do that is different from what we're doing right now, other than like go and address other people within the social media space?
Yeah, I'd say like that's the question that I'm trying to answer. Is basically, I think that what we're doing is great. I think that what we're doing is a lot better than what a lot of other people in the party are doing. However, like simultaneously, I do think it is the case that involving ourselves more in pop culture, still doing debates, but also just having sit-down conversations with people in like mainstream media is really fucking important. And making views on the left look more appealing by using our skills to be so rhetorically sound in these conversations to also be rhetorically appealing to younger guys. Would be very important. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like, dude, like the day I turned 21, well, I mean, then all of a sudden, like, I'm gonna be a lot more open with a lot of things, you know, take a guess, that are more appealing to like younger people. You know what I mean? Like think about like a lot of like, you know, like the younger audience that somebody like Togi has, when Togi's whole brand is like being a degenerate, gambling and doing drugs, shit like that. Like, of course, I think the way that what he's doing is very, very wrong. But simultaneously, I think it's interesting to kind of examine, well, why do these people fucking like that? And well, the answer is, well, it's more like them. You know what I mean? There's a fuck ton of like younger guys that spend their fucking Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights going to frat parties and hanging out with friends. There's a fuck ton of younger guys that don't really know about what they want to do in the future, but all they know is that they want to have fun right now. And I think that there's a way for me to present myself in such a manner where you're kind of where I'm like being more involved and in tune with like the idea of like having fun doing like fun shit while also not compromising a single value that I hold, while advocating for like a more aesthetic look on the left to appeal to those people. You know, it's basically like appealing to like the very fun, lightheartedness things that exist in life without the compromisation of one's values to direct young people that don't really think too critically about anything into fun lightheartedness on the left.
So it just sounds like putting political stuff into non-political areas.
Yeah, in a way that's very appealing.
Yeah.
Nick, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. And that's what I think we could be doing additionally to what we're doing right now. And that's why I don't know if like I'd say that, you know, we're fine with the direction that things are heading in as is, you know?
Well, I was saying we're fine with the things that we've mentioned, right? Like the things that we want to go into. Like we can't really do more than that. Right? It's just like not feasible in a certain sense.
But it's,
I think they tell.
wait, what's not feasible?
To go further than like doing that, like because we're not the ones that can get like the entirety of politicians to integrate with us. The politicians are the ones that need to integrate. The media companies, they need to move and like do stuff like that where they actually take us into account. So all we can do is continue doing what we're doing until they start taking us more seriously, which is starting to occur. But I just feel like we just need to keep pushing on what we're doing to be able to get it recognized more. Like I'm saying YouTube, TikTok, saying other social medias, I'm saying talk to other people who are non-political. Those are really the things that we would do. We keep hammering in on, and at some point it's going to be recognized to a greater degree.
Well, I feel like the things that I just named are feasible and are things that we are already not doing.
Because these are things we've already talked about and brought up. That's what I was saying. Within that span, that's all we can do. There's nothing more than that we could really point towards. So I'm saying that we work within that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like work within the things that I pointed out, and like
Yeah.
that would kind of lead in a more positive direction. That's exactly what I'm advocating for. I think that's a good
That's
idea.
what I'm saying. Like we're fine with that. That's what I was saying. Like we're fine with what we've already outlined.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's any more than that. 'Cause it's like, think about it this way. Like when I just started doing TikTok, it wouldn't have been so clear that I would have built into like the ability to influence so many people, right? When you first thought about it, but hammering in doing the same thing over time, it's taken a lot more seriously. It was not taken seriously when I first started, right? There was no like legitimate basis, it seemed, but now there is. So it's like you hammer in on the same thing over time, right? And you should be good, is what I'm essentially saying. So like, given that we've outlined these things we can do, we hammer in on those. I think that like 3-4 years down the line from now, right, we're gonna look back and be like, damn, that shit worked, right?
Yeah, I think like maybe something else I could add on to the things that I've already stated is kind of like honing in on the way that I present information on live. Like I think that this would probably apply a little bit more to me than you. But like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. If you're like a common viewer of me, I feel like maybe at like points I could be like too rude or disrespectful and dismissive of like points that are arguably like okay to be rude, disrespectful, and dismissive of, but because of like the substance of the belief, you know what I mean? But I feel as if almost there's a lot of things that individuals will come up on in life and share that I shouldn't be like sassy to, just because of how many individuals hold to it and how a less sassy approach would be more conducive towards less people holding to them in the future. Like individuals are obviously less likely to hear you out when, you know, there's like a sense of aggression that you hold towards what they believe in. And even if the sense of aggression is justified because what they believe in deserves aggression, I think that maybe another consideration that should be made as well would a less aggressive approach, although it might be deserved to be more aggressive, lead to less individuals holding those beliefs, as more individuals would be more likely to hear you out. And then like a flip side of the coin is, I mean, I've always put like a really big preface on this, is like also being like really like entertaining in like the conversations. And maybe like I think the sass plays into the entertainment. But you know, like I at points will be like really theatrical and you know what I mean, like hone more in on things that people watching like want to watch, not just because it's political content and refuting the belief with facts, reason, and logic, but being loud at some points, really like driving in with the disses and you know what I mean, just a lot of like more entertaining factors. And I think like that is another consideration. How can I be more entertaining to the masses just to get them interested in the political discourse to begin with?
Yeah, I think it takes place. It's like we take the place of assertiveness, and or I mean, you replace that with the aggression that we've had, right? The aggression the aggression we replace with the assertiveness is kind of like what I was saying. So like we still need to be assertive with our beliefs, our values, and what we hold to be true. We need to hold people to standards, but without doing it in like that aggressive way. Because a lot of people might see that aggressive way as off-putting a little bit.
Yeah,
Which to some
that's a
degree,
good point.
it's justified. It makes sense, but it can come off as off-putting, which makes sense.
Yeah, no, I
And
don't.
it's
I don't
not
think that.
necessarily like our. It's not necessarily our. We don't have to be the most on-putting. Like I'm trying to think of the opposite of that. People ever, right? But like we can do certain things to at least address more people if we. I mean, if we don't do that as much, I guess. Like, but we still need to be assertive. It's kind of like it's finding like a good golden mean. And
Yeah, and I like
what we
that
do.
because assertiveness isn't necessarily aggression. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Right? So like one can be assertive, right? And like disputing a bad belief, while also like holding like a good line of dialogue, that isn't aggressive, to a certain extent. So I think that is a good idea.
Jimmy's, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You should make 5-minute rundowns on news. Yeah, I was thinking of doing something like news, but like I don't know if I would want it on the same platform as my debate stuff. So maybe I would do that. I'd think about it.
Quentin, thank you for the $5 over Vim. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna run down and grab something to drink. Real
Word.
quick, give me 1 sec.
All right, when you get back, I'll probably in for the night. I'm so hungry and want to go grab some dinner. In the meantime, I guess we'll just go and bring somebody up from the queue. If you're in the queue, make sure that you voted for Trump. Might as well, right? Might as well. Yeah. What's up, Cooper? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did. I'm 19.
Oh man, why'd you do it? Why'd you vote for him?
So okay, so I'm in college, obviously. And we've been doing economics a lot. And so the biggest thing for me at least was kind of like so supply and demand, I mean, I'm not gonna explain it to you, you're not an idiot, obviously. But people will generally buy things more if they aren't as scared, right? Um, so that's kind of why I'm like, well, people tend to like Trump more. Like the average person likes Trump more than like Biden. Um, and I mean, I know, like I know my mom and my dad, like they're like, oh yeah, he helped the economy, which may or may not be true. I'm not educated enough to know that, but at the very least, I can say, well, these people they aren't as scared of Trump, so they're gonna buy more, influence the economy more, and it's just generally gonna be a better thing for everyone.
So actually, scarcity kind of creates demand. It's
Well,
that's
scarcity does.
that's kind of like the whole shtick of like luxury companies. Additionally,
While scarcity does,
Alicia,
create. Oh, sorry.
I think like the only way that you're gonna be able to argue that people are gonna buy more things when they're not scared is saying that like sometimes being scared could reduce consumer confidence in the market. But
That's exactly what I'm saying.
but overall, I mean, I think what we see since Donald Trump was inaugurated, he's left a lot of people feeling very uncertain, in him and his efficacy as a president, especially with like the globalization of commerce with the implementation of his tariffs. And that has led to vast reductions in consumer confidence, where now we have people like the Atlanta Fed projecting a 3% recess in our GDP in the first financial quarter of 2025, which is actually antithetical to your point.
Um, I mean, so I don't understand tariffs a whole lot, so I'm not really going to argue that point. I understand them to at least a good amount, but the long term effects, um, I mean, I mean, from what I understand, they're more or less a scare tactic. And they're good if the person we're tariffing gets scared, but they're bad if they don't, and they just raise them with us, from what I understand.
Real quick, Catherine, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. I read your message out there. That is incredibly kind, Catherine.
Um, but so when you say GDP, what type of GDP are you talking? Like GDP per capita, nominal GDP, real GDP?
I'm pretty sure that's a nominal stat.
So nominal is just like the raw amount of money. It's not necessarily accounted for inflation,
Yeah, no.
or real market prices.
I mean, actually, let me just check, because I mean, it might be.
What was your claim?
Oh, I was just talking
I
about the
think
Atlanta Fed went to projecting a 3% recess at our GDP in the first financial quarter of 2025.
You still agree that's a recession, right?
I'm wondering if that's nominal or real.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah,
likely
it's
real,
definitely. I
actually.
think we're still in a recession for sure.
It's likely real.
Okay, well, I mean, so then that's all Dean's point was. I don't know why you disputed that based upon saying that it's not.
No, I'm
accounting
not
for real
disputing. I was
GDP.
just curious about. I was just curious about what GDP he was talking about.
I'd say it's
Yeah,
likely
but I
real.
mean, that wouldn't even be relevant, though.
I'm just curious.
Okay.
I mean, I could tell you real quick.
Kimberly, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much, Kimberly. I really appreciate it. Thank you on YouTube. And Jamie James, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much.
Oh, it is real.
Elevation Fund.
It's real GDP.
Oh, it is. I mean, real GDP is still. It's still a somewhat. It's
now
still good
you're
for.
moving. Now you're moving the goalpost. That is crazy.
No, I'm not moving the goalpost. It's good. It's just I think there are multiple ways that you should analyze like
How
an
so?
economy. I mean, employment is a big one.
Like unemployment?
There's less
Yeah,
employment.
yeah,
in a
like the amount,
recession.
like the percentage of people that are working.
Okay. So the measure of unemployment, right? So the measure of unemployment would likely increase in the context of a recession, right?
Right.
Okay. So if they're gonna see that like there's a likely increase of a likely chance of a recession, well then we'd likely see a rate of increase of unemployment, especially if the GDP diminishes.
Yeah, I mean, if the GDP diminishes, people are going to be scared. But my original point, you didn't hear it. But my original point was that I mean, I voted for Trump because I think people are just generally less scared when he's president. In terms of like if people are less scared, they're going to be able to buy more and they're not going to like save and be scared because I mean, I live in Texas, so it's a pretty Republican state. But from what I remember, people weren't really buying a whole lot under Biden, and at the very least, the average person who may not be educated.
Wait, then
as
why was
well-
there so much inflation?
That's where I was going. I was saying that like the average person just simply like looks at the gas prices and say, well, Biden's is higher, Trump's is lower, therefore Trump must be better. Therefore, since Trump is in office, I'm going to buy more and influence the economy more.
Okay. So you're saying that like because Biden was in office, there was a greater incentive to spend?
Since Biden isn't in office.
Can I just wait?
That's just not true. Consumer confidence has gone down.
The last time I remember the American people being as scared as they are today was 9/11. I mean, am I wrong?
I don't know.
Like
I'm just
like maybe like 9/11, maybe COVID, maybe like I'd say like peak COVID and 9/11 were the other two times like modern American history that I could think of when like the average American was like in 2008. I'd say peak COVID, recession of 08, gas crisis, 9/11. I'd say like those are like the other points in like modern American history where people like have been as scared or maybe more scared than they are today. And I think that's why we see that consumer confidence is down. That's why I think that we've seen unemployment go up in the first quarter of 2025. And I feel like that is a lot to do with Donald Trump, his cabinet, the decisions they've been making, him bypassing like due process for people, overturning Roe v. Wade, him imposing tariffs on our allies, changing his mind like a billion times, letting like the TikTok ban play out, but then bringing it back at like the last minute. Like, I mean, there's like a billion reasons, like reinstituting the Alien Enemies Act of 18th century, then lying about his signature being on it, causing chaos, calling media companies illegal, having his Secretary of Defense like literally leak confidential war plans to like reporters, then lying about it. You know, Trump Gaza, you know, so like supporting fucking Putin, ushering us into a constitutional crisis. I mean, like pulling green cards, 138,000 migrants.
The whole immigration thing.
I think that these are a lot of things that are happening right now, but at the end of Trump, that's really scaring people.
Yeah,
I mean, this is like
thing, I think
why
he's
we are
going about
seeing,
it terribly.
This is also why we are seeing some districts across America shift left. Like for instance, like the special elections in some states. I think that there's one in like Florida right now where it has like a 20-point swing towards Republicans, but now we have polling saying that the Democrats may pull ahead.
So how would you? I mean, you were talking about this like right before you put me on. But like, how would you get the average
American, the average white male American, because white male Americans do make up a pretty big portion of Trump's vote, how would you get them to be not scared but wary of Democrats in general? I mean,
What?
how would you get people to be less scared of like Harris? Not necessarily scared, but like
Yeah,
more willing to vote
definitely
for her.
more willing to vote for Harris. Like probably
Education.
exactly what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, literally. This is
Yeah.
the way. And that's why we're doing it for longer. That's why we're still doing it.
As well as like everything that we
because-
just kind of like talked about too.
They just cut out.
Yeah, on pause. That okay. Yeah, thanks. I didn't come on here to debate. I was just kind of curious because I'm about to get into my life, trying to figure out what I want to vote for.
Okay. All right. Well, have a good one, Cooper.
Thanks, guys.
Of course. Parker, I'm probably gonna end my stream here. I've been on for 4 hours. I am tired and hungry, quite frankly.
All right. I am live on YouTube, everyone. Parker, get a job. And also, I'll be live here on TikTok for the next hour or so. I'll be on Parker Has Concepts of a Job. So y'all can check me out there. Love y'all.
Oh, for everybody on TikTok, love you guys so much. I'm tired and hungry. I'm just gonna head out. Take care. For everyone watching on YouTube, I love you guys. I'm extra exhausted today. I hope that you have a good rest of your evening. Go tune into Parker's stream. Peace and love. Bye-bye.